What's up? What's up, everyone? It's been a while. Just showing up on paper. Gotta make this thing level. But you bug me to no end. Showing up and doing a cultivation talk. Some things that I've been researching and doing. And seeing what everyone else is up to. First off, I'd like to say congratulations. One of my followers, he went through the gauntlet, like I have on my page. In the gauntlet, yeah, it's absolutely nutty. Uh, effe- Essentially, what the gauntlet is you are forcing yourself into a state of quantum tunneling. Uh, all potentialities become real inside of that moment as you're running around and doing things within. So, send that out. So, yeah, the gauntlet will. It's a psycho spiritual emotional battery test that will really beat your brain up, and it'll also push your limitations, your understandings of things. He ended up getting some not so good stuff happen at the same time. But then again, it's a part of the game. What do you do when you become a real character? What is it to become real? It's kind of a light that's right in front of you, and you're running and you're going through it, and like it's all focusing in. Dude, there we go. So, what's up?
Good night, my man.
Gone through the gauntlet yet? He's getting ready to, but this dude's doing his own thing too. Like,
Do my own thing.
hell yeah, you're in your way.
Different process, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a process getting there and falling it into the gauntlet. But it's a
It's
fine tunement that goes on inside yourself, and you show your character beforehand.
hmm
Could I defend Earth from for us? Defend you all from what? The issues that are going on inside of this are much bigger than the Earth realm. Outlanders such as us have been called here to be like, yo, um, the fuck is going on, and why y'all messing with kids? Please stop.
mm
And then you have people out here putting psychological programming of giving children the knowledge of condoms and on bananas and stuff like that, ruining the basicness of the dream. How can I defend that? What are you asking me to defend for you? I can go through and we can start to figure out what's going on and how it should be run. But whenever time this thing happens, you are like, oh, the patriarchy. Oh, we don't like being controlled. That's where all this stuff comes from.
hmm
The rules that are laid out for how mankind should carry itself forward. When we come to situations like this. So, once again, what do you want me to protect you from? It's a bunch of people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Shing Tsung is
It is
means that's
mean.
all masturbating. We're what we're doing right now actively, and I'm pretty sure that he can attest to this as well. The game is picking up.
Yeah.
Like we're literally collecting characters, and the people who are going to be made a character who's going to refine themselves inside themselves. Those are the people who will be chosen. Like you're making your character. Focus on making your character first. Once you do that, we don't need to like we're all together. The characters get back up and we'll solve the issues. Mankind's telling a story themselves. They're moving towards war. They're moving towards this. They're moving towards that. All these other ways. So, can I pick a barbarian with a level 4 battle axe? Be whatever you want to be, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. Whatever you spec into. If you want the axe to be your weapon, then play with the axe. Go outside, swing it, see how it feels. You want a sword? Go outside and swing a sword. Literally, the characters, the shows, the TVs, the actions, all that stuff like that. It comes from the actions that we put into it. So you build your character by your action. You build your understanding by your action. And that's what's really going on. The people are going through the gauntlet, though. That's an important thing. As you've seen, you were there. I showed you the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like the world actually becomes more. Thank you. The world becomes more like a game over time. As you start picking up on it, it was always there. Can you agree?
Yeah, it's always there, just waiting for you to play.
Just waiting for you to interact with it.
Mm-hmm.
But most people are sitting here thinking like, "Oh, I'm this person. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this," and they build themselves by the confines of their minds. What's on the outside, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what they've been told they are. They wear that instead of actually unfolding from inside out with who they actually are. So, and it's up to you if you're going to show your light and actually be that person and pull from inside out.
Yeah, and you do
So,
that based on your actions, how you're being.
yep.
But it's not just it's total alignment with thoughts, feelings, and actions. So if you were to be, in this case, a level 4 barbarian with a battle axe, sure. How does a level 4 barbarian think and act and feel every single day? What are they thinking about? How are they being? Are they worried about bills? Probably not. They're worried about hunting down some meat, maybe. I don't know. But how would that be? Right? And so it's like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be that. Go be it. But you will find that it's in alignment with your authentic self. And that's why
Mm,
all the healing is important, I've discovered. Is it's hard to connect with self if you are full of trauma, can't still the mind, can't enjoy yourself, your own company, because you have past traumas, injuries, things like that. So going through a healing process, a detoxing process, allows everything to be stilled such that you can begin to connect with authentic self. And then you're like, oh, this is actually who I am. And when you tune into that frequency of being, that's when all of a sudden you have the certainty of who you are and you cannot be swayed. You just go about being you because that's just who you are. And it does not fucking matter what someone else says, does, expects, or anything. This is me. Accept me for me. Like they
yeah.
say, know thyself.
But make sure if you want to become an eternal person, you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of people are like, just accept me as I am. Oh, you can come as you are. Well, we'll take it into consideration. But I mean, honestly, eternity is a long fucking time, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta, once you start sitting there and falling into that hole of what it is to be eternal, you gotta make sure you're actually a pretty decent person in order to keep yourself stable and sane.
Yeah.
Or you'll lose your
1000%.
shit. You don't lose your shit.
Mm-hmm. Because, I
So,
mean, you got to really look at it like, for example, a job. Like, if you're coming from the perspective of eternity, and you're at a job for 10 years, 20 years, you're at the same job for 20 years, but the perspective is eternity. How long is 20 years? It's very small. It's a very finite number compared to eternity. So, is it really worth it to stress over XYZ in your day to day life when you look at this perspective of stepping out to eternity? It's just a bleep on the map. And so, when you can come from that perspective, I'm not saying ignore things, but for me, it's recognizing like, oh, I've been thinking about so much things that don't even necessarily matter because it's such a small perspective. And as I pull back and come from the eternity perspective, it's like, oh, these things really don't matter. What does? Well, hanging out with my family is more important than certain things. Building the
yeah,
experience with them, right? So yeah,
yeah. Now that we've gotten down to 11 people, good. not too many people watching. Don't want the knowledge of cultivation getting out there for everyone. Just, you know what I mean? Good, even less. Nine. Nice.
Oh, it's a perfect
Okay.
number, hey? We're fucking talking about it all day.
We've been the nine has been coming up, man. What's up, nine guys? Y'all in here? All right. So,
Law of nines.
right. Uh, so I've been working on the breathwork thing, and
Mm.
I figured out the whole like in mouth, out mouth, earth breath, in mouth, out nose, fire breath, in nose, out nose, air breath. Fifth breath is in both and out both. That's like the spirit breath. That just sign let out.
Mm.
Then inside of there, there's the three breaths that we use when we're little. Three pure breaths. Breathe in deep. Let yourself get big. You think about being a little child and you're looking at all these giants around you. You're like, I want to be a giant someday. I got to grow big and strong. So you grow big, hold in more, blow out very little. You're keeping yourself still like as big as you can be, like a little puffer fish. Right? In very little. In a lot more than you let out. As you get older, you start to equalize with the people around you, the height and stuff like that. You start breathing pretty equally. You feel comfortable. You're not trying to like fight anymore. You're not in a fight for survival. You're
Mm.
not trying to go on. So you're not triggering that like internal system of like being like little kids surrounded by giants. We trigger that type of thing when we do our breath, but we do it calmly now as we get older. So you do like the earth breath in and out, and you like build by the breaths and the layers. Do the child breath, keep it strong, keep your body strong. That's why the whole you see Shiva sitting there, Adi
Mm.
Yogi sitting there with his body like that. Yeah, that's where it comes in. As we get older and we start dying, the third breath is the death breath. You breathe in very little and out a lot more. You'll find people doing that like a lot. A lot of people will sit there and instead of breathing, they'll be holding their breath and they'll be burning up their internal chi.
Mm.
The whole key being air. How we're
Yep.
sitting here and we're keeping ourselves full of air on the inside when we're little kids. So we're keeping that air transformation going on, adding air to the body, building the breath, building the key. And like once you get to a certain point and you've accumulated all this air, well, you sit there and you stop and you like let it out. People stop breathing and they exist by the chi that they built up in their body.
Mm. What's up, dude? Oh, okay.
What
Yeah.
up?
100%. That's one thing I'm stepping into and really recognizing where's the breaths go. Even when you say like, both in through your mouth, out through your mouth, you can definitely feel it connect to and resonate with different aspects of the body in different play
Yeah.
sets. Right. Right. So it's interesting to hear that and really just feel how to move the breath around and get things going in. Do these lives get recorded and uploaded somewhere? I don't
The
know.
lives, uh, if I don't go off and go down a way where I'm like, gonna destroy everything, I do take them and put on my YouTube on the Priest of Ashes. I have to remember to do that sometimes. Sometimes I do it anyway, but it really depends on like how I feel ish. I'm very like in the game, and then we're doing this stuff just to be like, hey, somebody else got his clicks. That's a good thing. What'd you hear? What was your experience? Tell them the experience, the name.
Oh, the most recent one, yeah. Like with Mike, that name, that one just coming out of nowhere.
Yep.
Well, that one, yeah. I was meditating. This was maybe last Wednesday, and just sitting in silence and just calming the mind, and then literally out of nowhere, I hear this like a radio voice sort of advertisement sort of thing. It's just like Mike, and I'm like, the heck is that? Where the heck is this stuff coming from? I've heard, balloon popping going off, right beside my ear. Um, I've heard music playing as if it's a radio going on right beside me. Just and that one's like out of nowhere. Just drums start kicking it off and start playing out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the
What
heck is
going
going
on?
on? It's messed up. There is my understanding of it is, you know, the meditation that is typically given out right now is more about creating more desire and manifesting typically. It's more
Yeah.
about, okay, go and, meditate every day for 30 minutes to calm the mind, visualize what you want to get done in the day, visualize, how you want to get it done, what's the perfect outcome, etc. And, I've come from a personal development background of, 13, 14 years now, and that's most of that work. And recognizing that work is great for producing results in the world of man. It works. It's effective. But to tap into what this actually is, you have to let that all go. You have to really let everything all go. And by everything, that's your desires.
Yep.
That's you letting go of the desire to be successful. Even if the business you're creating could help millions of people, let that go. I'm not saying don't do it, but when you let all of it go, that is typically people are looking for the
Knowledge.
experience of something,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a lot of people are looking for like, oh, I want to make $1 million, for example. It's not the $1 million that you get excited about. It's the things you can do with it, the freedom you feel. But everything you experience, if you think about having $1 million, everything you're experiencing is internal. Joy, happiness, peace. You can experience that right now without the $1 million. And if you can have it truthfully, would you want the $1 million? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Right? And then it's recognizing, where do those feelings come from? Right? Where does joy come from? Where does the desire of joy come from? Well, there's only one person. That's
Us.
that's it.
I.
Creator.
Yep.
Creator's the source of it all.
Yep. You are my joy because you all exist. I have made someone else that is seeing. Little seeds, you're walking around inside the field. One day you'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start having the experiences where you're sitting there, you're letting go of all the things. You're like, it's just things. Like, even me, I sit here, I'm like, okay, so I'm understanding cultivation, chi, ki. We gather the energy. We can make any of this stuff. And once we understand how it's made, we can break it all down like it's nothing. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally dream dust. That everything we have. Cool. Still have eternity. It's still there. So even if you have the desires of the world of men, people
Yep.
often in on that. Like, I'm gonna sit here and do this 30 minutes meditation, not building into eternity or what the actual higher purpose of it is or my existence, but my existence is dedicated towards being this person who facilitates this or does that, and I need this money to do this to do that. It's not about that.
Mm-mm.
I see a lot of the spiritual people out there doing that, like they're Billy Carson. Is that dude's name? Forbidden Knowledge. Forbidden Knowledge TV. Billy
Oh,
Carson.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
He's up like how to grow wealthy with your stuff, and I'm like, now you're being like the enemy, bro. It's a pure fucking dream. You can be sitting here and be like, this is how you gain knowledge. How do you do the cultivation? We can all sit here and gather chi, make our own pathways, and like learn to teleport throughout the void, go anywhere we want to be. We can become completely unbound.
Mm-hmm.
This is for everyone. But would you be responsible with that power? And how do you refine yourself to show that you are responsible enough to have that power? And as you refine yourself to show that you're responsible for having that power, you will get the information. It comes from inside of you
Mm-hmm.
to get that power. Now, if you sit here and decide to teach other people how to do things, it's just like how the sages would sit there and have the technology. Like they would sit here and make something happen, and they could explain it, and then like give layout to their cultivation rigs, like the thing you sent me the other day
Yeah.
with fire that started up as it starts spinning, like
The, the plasma. Yeah.
the plasma generator.
Mm-hmm.
That all comes from inside. They're doing that inside themselves. So In the Lost Teachings of Atlantis book, they talk about visualizing 1 or 12, 13, depending on perspective, right? Or 8 billion.
Mhm.
Yeah, 8 billion. In Lost Teachings, talk about visualizing your true teacher or someone that comes your way, I guess. I don't know, man. People be like, "You're a true teacher. You're my true teacher." I'm like, okay, I'm qualified to do that. Yes, I click. I'm qualified to do that, but we're just trying to figure things out.
Mhm.
Me and Adiyogi, but also Mike, he's there. Like, oh, it's okay, bro. You know, embodies the creator to become closer to the state that can visualize a future version of yourself. Sorry, I can't put the whole question in one mission. Yeah, you like me. I am. All right, so the gods, the lords, and stuff like that. We're supposed to be living examples. Be like, oh, well, he lives in him, but he lives in him too, up there in the corner, and he lives in him. And everyone's like, yeah, but it's like, no, the dude over there actually has that whole connection thing going on. And then the
Mhm.
true teacher sits there and is like, yeah, no, this is what it is. They'll teach you the information you want. Like, people don't know what you're searching for unless you ask them. Or they'll give you certain practices to go do things. And as you come back with results, then you'll be able to have more conversations. Like, me and him have conversations all the time. Things are happening for him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's this.
Yep.
I can recognize it. I can recognize where you are on the path and like how the things go. And so, am I really a teacher? Am I a guide? I'm like the hooded wayfarer. But inside of that thing, eventually, at some point in time, as you're walking through the field, once you know and you're in the know, you see someone who's truly trying to get in the know, you're going to pass along the information to them to help like them calm their waters.
Yeah.
And inside that, you yourself also become a true teacher, become a temple or an embodiment of the creator. But you have your own name. But the creator lives within us because we don't have a name. Like he doesn't have a name. Nothing. If you live before everyone else, like you don't have a name. You just
Mhm.
are. There's literally nothing there. Like
Mhm.
so, from that point, that nameless entity, the vibration, Elohim, the zero hymn, the zero song that's being sung. We're people that come from that. Like straight up, we're flowing out from that. All of us. All right. You're sitting here, and everyone's like, let's do the meditation, right? Where we all sit here and we try to become like everyone else, right? So this is what I do for my Christ consciousness meditation. Um, I'll sit here and be like, all right, tap into Christ consciousness. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Now, like, where am I? I'm in darkness. What do I see? Let go with your mind. Flow. Go between the images to images. I see children running inside of a field. I see people kissing. Lovers. I see. It's like cards. It's like flashing before my face, like picture frames. And at the same time, I'm like looking inside of those images. I see a person looking out, standing above like a hill somewhere. They're hiking or something. It is by that person within us, the Christ within, we all see. It's the person that perceives the light within us. And so, whenever you let go, you close your eyes and sit in darkness, the awareness with the Father, and then you see by the light of like the eye that's been networked, the only begotten Son, this entity, this part of the Creator is like, all right, so you need me to fulfill the function of being everywhere and everyone picking up all the data all the time. And like just being the person that's there within everyone, like it's kind of like I'm in a slave system, but I'm not really in a slave system. I have my own entity or identity within this, and that's what I do. So that's the Christ, the perceiver within all of us. It's also like you look out of the eyes of a bird and you're flying through the sky, or you're sitting here and you're swimming in the sea, and you're seeing like the shark doesn't really see nothing, but you notice like the ocean itself, water has a rhythm to it. Think about the waves moving, right? And as you're picking up these waves in your gills, your senses, your electromagnetic senses, you're feeling the waves in front of you, and it's like a song is being sung, an ocean song that's coming to you. And so you're listening to the song and finding the rhythms and going inside the flow. That's a different type of sight. How does a shark see when they're inside such vast water? They have to see far, far, far away and be able to tell what's inside their surroundings. And so we do it magnetically inside the sea. And as you start thinking about how these different types of entities, the sea, our brains are the most advanced quantum computers around. It allows you to start tapping into deeper levels of sensations within you by living through the moments of those things. So that's Christ consciousness connection right inside of there. Then on the outside, when you open your eyes and you're sitting here, this is the person that you are. It may not be the true form of who you are. It may not be how you see yourself inside yourself, because some of us can sit here and be like, oh, I'm so ugly. I'm not attractive. I'm not this, I'm not that. And inside of ourselves, we dreamed of how we should have looked. Our face should have been perfect. All these other things since we were younger. We have identity that we have built onto. And since we know we can't obtain that, we stop trying to do anything. We just let ourselves go. But it's not really about that face. Man, it's not about the face that you see inside the mirror. It's about the person that you are as you reflect upon yourself. And then over time, you unfold to becoming that face. Yeah, we've had many faces. And so you know which face is actually your face, though. We've lived many different bodies, but over time, there's like the face of who you are actually will stand out inside yourself. It's like Neo. Uh, a lot of people, when they dream, they can't see what they look like. That's because you don't remember what your face was like. Once you remember what your face is, you're like, oh man, but that's the beautiful face I was looking for the whole time. It was my face. But it's only you will know that until it becomes the internal reflection from inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So who we are is much more than just a face. That's why we do things like where we have the hoods on and we cover our faces and stuff because we don't want you to see our face. Like literally, I don't want you to see my face, and it's like the Cobra hood. But I could be sitting up here and be beautiful as fuck, right? Super hot. But if now you're looking at me and I'm so hot, you're like, oh my god, this person's so hot in front of me. I want them to like me. You're not seeing me for the message, so we keep ourselves covered so that the beauty doesn't like disturb you because of the place like where they are, and so we learn how to shift around. I have a face. I have a face, but I think we don't have one personally. I do have my own personal face. Actually, it took a while for me to recognize who I am, but I have a face. It's a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely the Christ consciousness from that within us, and then your person on the outside. You're playing in the game, and you're going around doing your thing inside yourself. You think in your thoughts. You don't think about the way you look most of the time. You put on your clothes, you're dressed the way you're dressed, and then you're off to have your day. You're off in your adventure, and you're doing things actively in the field. And this that
Mm-hmm.
character as you're walking around the field, who are you actually? What do you show yourself to be? How do you act? How do you interact with people? How do you walk around? Like I see kids, I'll be like, wave at them. I'm walking around looking all cool. I have my armor stuff on. I'll do that normally. Like I'll put my hood on. Like I go to just the store. Go to IHOP. I go to IHOP a lot. I like burgers. So I show up and I do things out into the world. Yeah. Never recognize yourself out inside the mirrors or the pictures. That's because mirrors, like, we're vampires. Vampires can't be seen in mirrors. That's the whole thing. The true essence of who you are cannot be put inside a mirror
Mm.
or be projected back at you.
Yeah.
Neither can dude pics of me look like another person. Yes, it doesn't look like me. I'm sitting here on the camera, like looking at my face. I'm like, whatever. I know I'm talking, but it's not necessarily me. But it's whatever. This is who I am right now. This is Cosmic Space Dad. This is the face and form of something magnifique. People are
Yep.
saying all the time, "Man, were you over here the other day? I swear I saw you at this place." I'm like, "What do you mean you saw me? How do you see me? Who has a beard thingy? Who? No
Yeah.
one else has these walking around. How are you seeing me everywhere?" People be confusing me for someone else. I'm like, I don't even know. But then I'm like, okay, so there's many faces out there. We have doppelgangers that look like us, and like kind of you are you as you walk around the field and you build your avatar to be your own person. And it's by who you do, your actions you show, and then you get a reshape. Cool. You're still you. You just got your perfect shape form going on thing.
Hmm.
Cool. Ideal body. Do you work out with it? Does it get fat? Does it get big? How do you have it? I get called Michael Jai White a lot. And what did he play? He played Spawn.
Hmm. I just watched that
The,
movie like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, this movie's fucking badass, and I could totally see what the hell you're talking about. Like, yep, yep.
is it not so much easier, like for the people of heaven? We can sit here and have like our armor inside of us, and it's like, and the shit comes on, and all of a sudden it's like, fear the Lord. And you're like, oh shit. These things look absolutely menacing. Every time you see like angels mentioned inside of the stuff, right? They're like, have no fear when they show up. Why do angels say have no fear? Because they're terrifying. So if you're becoming a lord, you should have a thing that looks like, all right, when it comes like little kids, I'll be sitting there and it's like Santa Claus thing. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for Saint Nick's sake. Like you don't want to be the one coming for you. Or like
Hmm.
Santa Claus. When we come walking through, Satan's claws, we're walking as nightmares. We take on like the armor of the form. It unfolds from within us. You can sit here and unfold your body like the movie Gods of Egypt. They'll be sitting there walking around all tall and big like men, and all of a sudden they like unfold this weird way and become like this giant fucking statue, like animal person, and they take off flying like made of metal. Why not? That's
Hmm.
just how they equip going into like their full on lord state. Just that
Legitimate.
kind of.
Like, when you break it down, and like I've been dissecting this with my mind, like going through it from a personal development standpoint, like dissecting it piece by piece, it is exactly what it is. Because at the end of the day, if you look at it from a scientific standpoint, everything that's out external of us is made up of the same stuff, our stuff included. Particles. It's all the same shit. It's all energy. So then it just becomes, what's the difference? Well, the difference is simply between the car and the house is a vibration. One vibrates at a different frequency than the other. So if you can learn to neutralize yourself, where you're not being affected by things, karma, which is also the desires and the non desires, and getting rid of things and blah, 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 all that stuff, when you
The
neutralize
will of some.
yourself, yeah, you just keep going around and around and around, chasing your tail. You have to stop yourself. And when you
Sit
just
back.
stop, yeah, be where you're at. Like where you're at is where you're at, and that's it. But when you, like, again, going back to eternity, you may not like your life where you are at. That's okay. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that's where you are at based on the choices you've made. And you have eternity. So is it really that bad? If your life was ending tomorrow, you might freak out all the things you could have missed out on, all the things you could have done, and a lot of pressure. But if it's like from eternity standpoint, it's like, oh, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not that big. I'm doing pretty good.
Once you learn to, a part of becoming immortal is learning to accept like this is where I am right now, and like I have eternity. And as you learn to accept that, like, oh, my body can change. You can do this and do that. You're like, I go back around and around with the wheel of samsara over and over again. Or eventually you get to the point where you're like, you know the fuck what? I don't even fucking care. Nope, don't even fucking matter. If the
Yep.
only thing is, if I killed myself, I'd be sitting there in the darkness behind, like, nothing else to do, just pure fucking dark, and I'd be fucking bored out of my mind. I'd like be
Hmm.
like, I want for something else. was like going crazy. So yeah, no, I'm aware of it now. This is what I am. I'm in here. I will become something different. It'll happen over time. We can control our bodies. We can do all this stuff like that. We're just not doing it, you know? And once you get that awareness, that point, and you stay within that, it's literally about staying within it, guys.
Yes.
Then, then you're ready to transition between being like a man to being an immortal. You can sit up here and get to where using your mind. You can sit here and manifest gold, just like we were saying. It's all the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally the same thing. At the very basic nature of it, it's the same thing being arranged inside different ways to give out different patterns to make something that's different. It's just the vibration that's going on, right? All the same thing. But I mean, like, this is bubbly water. So why does the water bubble and fizz? Because the carbonation makes it super fizzy. But now you're putting carbonation into water. So it's like you're adding extra things into the water molecule and making it something different. But it's still all the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately.
At the end of the day. Right? If you guys think about it, like if you had all the money, all the stuff, if you could materialize, manifest, whatever you want to call it, all the things, and you had eternity, then what? Then what? What do you do? Right?
How
Who
you know
who
who's
are
for you?
you?
How you know
Right?
who's really
Like,
there for you and not trying to use you for your shit?
yep. What's that? I seen that Ultron thing. Keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and sooner or later you'll find out which is which, or something like that. I was like, oh, that's actually legit. Yep, that makes sense. Right?
That
You'll find
really
out.
does make sense.
But the thing you guys understand too is you are who you are. Like a lot of people have, this idea of reincarnation. Okay, I've had multiple lives and I'm trying to remember past lives, etc. Yes, that's a thing. However, behind the memories of the past life is still you. There's that thread of you. So you could have a hundred is still you. There's that thread of you. So you could have a hundred. So you could have a 100,000 past lives, men, women, children, traumatic ones, amazing ones, exciting ones, adventurous ones. It does not matter. But behind all of those past lives, children, traumatic ones, amazing ones, exciting ones, adventurous ones, it does not matter. But behind all of those past lives, there's still the consciousness of you. Now, who is that? Right? Like, I know for me, because we start with memory intact. Well, that's the whole
Yeah,
point.
it sounds cool to start with your memory intact, but that's what that movie Infinity is about.
Mm.
They die, they literally come back and they remember their past lives. And as they're growing up inside of it, they start being like, oh, this person's a schizophrenic. That's the big thing inside the movie. They talk about like schizophrenic episodes happening. That's people remember their past lives coming into them and stuff.
Well, I mean, even on the other side,
So,
to
yeah,
consider with that is like if you had a past life and so and so did you wrong, maybe murdered you, somebody murdered you in the past, and you had a memory of that, and you weren't able to clean house on your own, well, how much is that going to carry through moving forward in each life? Are you just going to go murder somebody's families, killed children's children because his great grandfather in a past life murdered you? Like, are you able to control yourself? And that's part of the thing is like, no, wiping the slate clean every single
yep,
time because it's up to you to go back on your own. You got to realize that on your own. We're saying it, but you got to do it. That's the whole
yep.
point. Go back to the creator. Go inward. That's it. Bottom line, nothing else matters. Connect with the creator.
You're getting scratchy on the mic, just so you know.
Oh, sorry. My necklace
So
is
good.
getting on
It
me.
happens too. I be on Twitter now. You know, I be in Twitter Spaces. All of a sudden, my shit start getting all scratchy. A beard.
Oh man. But and I'm speaking from personal experience. Like this is all new step coming on to me. Like just things. Like it's
Yep.
realizations upon realizations. I mean, this has been a 2-3 year process for me. that I've had ups and downs, feeling like I've failed, I've let things down, I've lost shit, blah. And I kept realizing the one thing that only mattered, even when it was good and when things got low and bad, the only one thing I was looking for ultimately was the creator. That's the one thing that I could. There was a whole 3 months I could not feel. Like I couldn't feel any highs. I'm sitting with my family, enjoying like my time with my family, but they're laughing, having fun, and I'm just putting a smile on my face because there is no feeling inside, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? I am
Right.
empty. Like I am disconnected from source. I'm disconnected from God, and I'm like, it got to a point where I couldn't feel Him at all. And I was like breaking down crying with my wife around this. Like, I can't feel God. This is scary. But I recognize that's the only thing that I was actually looking for. It wasn't the money. It wasn't, you guys might have seen the Eric Thomas thing.
Yeah.
It was as long as you want something as much as you could breathe, that's when you know you'll be successful. Like if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, that's how you'll be. That's literally what it was. I couldn't breathe. And as soon as I started reconnecting and just going, no, God, just stay with God, focus on the creator, attention there, energy there, just send that there. It just
Hmm.
started connecting.
It starts to
Just
click.
it just starts to click in, yeah. And I start feeling connected again. I start having conversations about this. I start speaking about, and I start feeling connected again. I start having conversations about this. I start speaking about, and I start feeling connected again. I start having conversations about this. I start speaking about, here I am. This is me. It's so easy,
Yep.
but at the same time, it gets
You're
lost out
out there.
there.
You're like, what the hell is going on? See, the whole up and down thing, I'm sitting here playing with it, and I like do it in my mind, like, tracking. It's like Snake, how going up and down. I'm like, what does this look like? I'm like, oh, it looks like guts. Turn it sideways. Me going up and down, it looks like our guts.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so we go up and down, up and down, up and down, highs and lows. You're like, I don't feel anything. I don't, there's nothing going on. Because just testing your guts.
Yeah.
This
Well,
you have to test
literally.
the fortitude, literally.
And that's what scared me. It got to a point of me being like, well, if this is how it's going to be, if I'm completely fuck it, why do I care about meditation? Why do I care about God? If this is how I feel about it. And so there's a day where I just start leaning off and I just start doing the normal thing. And there's no joy in it. I can't find it. I'm like, there's something me missing. There's something there. And I eventually just surrender to the only thing that matters is connecting with the creator, bringing that awareness to him because everything comes from him. Your
Yep.
desires come from him.
We were made out of desire to be not be alone. And so to not be alone, all these things came into existence. And there's many wonderful toys. Like we're little kids, we want all the fucking toys. And now we're big, go get the money and go get all the fucking toys. But it's still just taking up fucking space inside
Yep.
of our house. We don't
Yep.
even know how it's made. We can sit here and break it down. That's what we really want to know. Break it down to its roots, its elements. Get rid of the things. Keep it all neat and clean. Whenever you want it, you can sum it up and be like, fuck yeah, this is
Mm.
cool. And then whenever you don't want it, you send it away. If someone needs something, you give it to them. But then everyone starts thinking of you as being like a computer.
Mm.
You're the thing that you're the dream machine. They come to you and ask you for things, and whenever you do something, oh, boom, they're like, oh, I got what I wanted. They didn't understand the thing, the brotherhood, the family, nothing like that. Of
Yeah.
what they're just existing off of your knowledge. And like I can see now, like Thoth, they're like Thoth was the greatest of Egyptian gods. He betrayed us. He became like a demon. And it's like, well, because you all were putting all this shit on them. Like, you put a lot of shit on a person. They have a lot of knowledge. They can give you everything. And then suddenly you meet the creator, and it's like, you were never alone, bro. You went through the whole path. And then suddenly you meet the creator, and it's like, you were never alone, bro. You went through the whole path. But you're here with me in eternity. You realize that you are. So what do we do? And it's like, oh man, this is like for my best friend. What's up, Patty Yogi? Oh, Yogi. Next thing you know, you're going through and like be like, oh well, how do we destroy all these wrong impressions? And you start putting out like things that aren't right, like the information. You start mixing it up.
Mm.
moving things around, like the whole chakra thing, right? The very simple, something so simple, like a kid little thing that you do. It's like the first part, lam. Then you have vam. It's like va, water, ram. Right here, the sun. Hum. They say ya. They say with the y here. They say yam is here, and they say hum is here.
Mm.
I think, yeah. But the hum is here for the throat. Flip it around. Ya means ether. Ya is ether. So yam should be here. And hum, like for the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Hum.
Mm-hmm.
But even like that, it's flip flopped around.
Yeah.
Why? Because Thoth broke the knowledge up to make a riddle. It was all together once, and then once you break the fucking knowledge up, and I was like, all right, you figure it out. I done poisoned the well. I done put the information out there now. Now align it back yourself.
Yeah.
Once you back and use all the different things, because in order to get the keys for the information, you have to start looking through all the different religions. You have to start looking through all the different people across the planet and like seeing each other as a brother, as family, so that you all can share together. And then you use your creative minds to be like, well, how does this go here? And something so simple just sparks off, and it's like, oh, yum, hum. It makes sense. It was backwards. It's the finesse. The creator is showing his little thing inside there, and also like the wizards, us here on Earth, we sit here and we're like, fucking mix this shit up. If you're smart, you're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
Unify. It's the Millennium Puzzle. Unify the puzzle. Yeah, you get taken over. Like it's time to duel. It's a part of it. It's so much fun though.
It
We're
is.
playing a game together. We should be sharing, and like, but usually most people aren't down with that. I don't know. It's weird. I've been out there going to like spiritual meeting things, and I like spiritual meetings. The people are cool. I get to tell information and stuff, but then you can also pick up the vibes of energy. You can tell things. Like it's just really interesting how all this works. And everyone,
It
some people
is.
like, want the magic. Some people don't want magic. Some people want to be here. They want to
Yep.
be grounded here. They may have went into a state and became like manic and went too far and started trying to push and force their will on others. And all of a sudden the matrix started to close in on them. And so now they're trying to stay inside like, their good thing, like they have their magic. But they don't know how to, they're afraid of it because of the way that, because they weren't being their best person. And they also didn't build their understanding into it.
Mm.
Like, I'm not simply saying I'm going to be the best person. Am I? I mean, I'm pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm pretty nice until I'm fucking not. But this is PvE area. We're peaceful in PvE. And when it goes PvP, now you fucked up. You done turned on the mode. You done snap me too. And I'm like, oh, I can fuck you up. Like, I'm sitting here like, all right, we're playing the game, guys. It might cost you your life. Yeah, if you want to join in beforehand and not understand the creator, yeah, you can get all the powers and do all stuff like that. It might lead you further away from the creator because you're going to be going after cities and stuff like that instead of stopping and sitting and being still. And that's why this time right now is so fucking crucial
Mm-hmm.
because not a lot of stuff is going on. People are making shit up for things to keep on going on because they refuse to stop and be still. And you can see society's monkey mind working inside the mass media. But if you as an individual choose to stop and be still and accept the eternity for what it is, then like you come into a oneness or an alignment. And then from there, the things we have going on the outside, shit's gonna pick up. You're gonna start seeing people like me, like, all right, I click. I know I'm an immortal. I'm gonna go out and start fucking shit up. Well, what am I gonna fuck up though? I'm gonna look for the people taking kids. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna use the magical powers. Ooh, let me show you. I got a book I just got. Ugh. People think I be bullshitting. Ugh. I ain't bullshitting about shit. The Witch's Mirror. What's this book about? Scrying. so I can sit here and learn how to activate the mirror and use it properly and look through it like a glass plane, like looking through water into another area and being like, oh, let me sit here inside the sky without you not knowing how to use your magical stuff protections because y'all are basic ass humans. Don't have no dreams, fucking muggles. Didn't put shit up, did you? We go around and watch all your operations, find out your codes, see where you have your money stored, everything. And I'm gonna go through and die and get up, and die and get up, and kill all your peoples you have in there, you little NPCs you running around. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and take your money and stuff. Go pull that out. We're gonna start making an organization. We're gonna make a guild. We got founder things. My name is Hunu Shizu, the instinct of the founder. So in order to build foundations for the game to come back, I gotta go get money, and I also might do that while protecting kids. You know, and good kids like to read books, be inside stories and lore. It's above and below. We write books and teach things. We make these little things like this and teach things. Other people are teaching us. You can't sit here and think you know everything. Just go through it and read. But ultimately, there is a what's best for
Mm.
everyone.
Yep. At the end of the day, all paths lead back to him. It's just a matter of time and how long you want to play that game.
Yep, you'll accept it. You either think it's a prison because if you think it's like, oh, I don't want to go back to the creator. I want to be the creator. Sorry, bro. Pieces don't dictate the things that players do. Pieces on the board don't dictate the things the players do outside. And you're already piece on the board. You can go inside yourself and unfold and start to become your own creator. You know, you make yourself like within yourself, create a whole universe, have a whole planet, do all the things you want. And eventually, you're gonna sit there, and all the creation's gonna come to you and be like, "Oh my lord, can you do this? Oh my lord!" And you'd be like, "These people ain't real. Fucking, how do I deal with this?" And then you come to your own thing of you are eternal, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh damn, this is what the creator's been going through. I'm just trying to find somebody else. He's just trying to find somebody else." But it all comes from within ourselves. We can't let it go in the outside in the void. We can't let anyone out because then we won't know if there was anyone else there.
Mm-hmm.
If we pollute the void with our seeds, cool. But then you'll be like, well, did I meet anyone else? Did I meet all these things come from me? That's what all of us are known and identified. That's why we have our ID and we go back inside, we go out to the outside. And like I can float around the void. There's fucking nothing there, guys. There's literally nothing. There's no sight, no sound. I can't put it into words. Like it's nothing there. So we make the creation in order for us to have things to do and learn how to play and like be along with each other. Like, yeah, got somebody else. Fuck yeah, play with the creator. Whee! Like that type of thing. Like outside, there's nothing, and we can send people out there, but then we would never know if we came across somebody else.
Mm.
So until the time you're ready for that, we're being raised inside of here until you can become a proper type of ambassador and get access to go out to that level to be able to allow to move where he is or where we are, whatever that is, because we're all still connected, but we have our own individual identity within that, and we claim up like space. Like we go further away, make points, tracking time, how far we gone, the infinite train to nowhere. But all of us are here together, and so the inner world, when you fold back in, like a oh, that teaches you the visual thing.
Which one?
So you sit here in your mind, right, and you see the world around you, and like hold that picture up here in your head. You know, like that little picture spot of the world around you. And then from the center, all that moves and it becomes like the shining prism of light, like Superman's temple. You know, it has all those little light beam crystal things in there. So it's like that's like the prismatic light. In the middle is the dark blackness. This prismatic white, that's the chaos. That's literally chaos. And then there's the silence of the void, darkness.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And you can still see the outer world there, but then it's like chaos, and then boom. And it's this whole like I sent you the thing, the breath of Akash. How you sit there and start off like 17 feet or 17 inches from your face. So you're like, yeah, right here. You can look out further, whatever, and you like breathe out and you can focus on that point, that empty spot, and it starts to you want it to open.
Yeah, I know exactly
Oh
what you're talking about
yeah,
with
but
that.
the visual image before you start getting that shit to do that is like that.
Okay.
We're trying to ruptures in the void. You have to be ready for the understanding of that thing that happened before you physically start to manifest it because it could shatter fucking reality. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's dangerous power. But yeah, that's how we take that the same thing and we put it inside of ourselves and we can fold back in and like move to the void, all types of stuff. See, only about 10 people following right now. I can give you all this cool stuff. I'll put it on like my YouTube and like no one's gonna watch it. They're not gonna know
Hmm.
what the fuck I'm talking about. It seems so random until moments when it comes together and like you drop bombs. Like you all haven't noticed, I'm drinking two things. I can tell you this much: there's magic in my cup. Because
But
what
that's it.
that
That's honestly is what it is. You guys is just going back in, like you said. What is that? Can't it could be a DLC area. Well, essentially, it's all access always, but you got to
up,
earn
bro?
it. You
You want
got
to
to
give him a
earn it,
He's hearing
right?
clicks.
Who is
Saint,
Don?
the dude that sent it, the DLC. He was sitting
Yeah.
there walking around. I was like, yeah, dude. He had a whole experience.
Oh,
Like
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he sent it to me. I was like, yeah, dude. It's weird when it starts happening inside yourself. Like it's weird when it starts the first time. You've heard the clicks inside yourself too. You've heard like the click. Huh? It's weird, but it's definitely a fucking thing.
Yep.
Like it's literally a thing.
Hmm.
Oh, Mike's doing a thing again.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it's you got to earn. You got to because I mean, at the end of the day, if everyone had access to the powers, like you just look and see how the world is right now, right? You know, people are robbing shoe stores and just wrecking shit just for the hell of it. You know, I seen this one girl who was wrecking shit in Walmart. I don't know if you guys seen that video and
Yeah, the
and
little
kicking
kid.
her mom. So
Yeah,
imagine if she had powers. What would she be doing? Walmart would be gone. It would be burnt up. How many people would be dead? Like if she just didn't know how to contain and control her emotional states. And so that's why there's a process to this. That's why all the information, like Alex was saying, is the thought thoughts breaking everything up in a way so that you could the right people who are aware and can see it are able to put the pieces of the puzzle together, understand it in a way, and then they can be the ones, and like how we are here, to communicate it to you guys in a way that's relevant to our time versus previous times and understanding the broken language and, you know, the same word that was used 1,000 years ago is not the same meaning today type of thing. And so having individuals such as, Woden, myself, going through things like this is being able to document and explain it so that when it's happening to you guys can just tap in and be like, oh, that's this what this is. Okay, that they mentioned
oh,
what that is. Okay, I'm not losing my mind because
you're
it
losing.
can get crazy.
Not.
You're lose yes, you're losing it, but in a controlled way, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a paradox. How do
hmm
you lose shit stably?
hmm you don't. It's usually just fucking chaos.
Yep.
But out of the chaos, that's where order comes from. That's where new comes from, right? Rebirthing. Like if you think of just even conception with a newborn, like how much chaos is going on in the body to the cell division, all this stuff moving and happening. And all after all that time, you have order, function of systems that are running to keep things moving on its own, right? The different systems of the body, etc.
Mhm.
Out of all that chaos. Where does that knowledge come from? How does it know to do that? There's somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings.
Gotta
And
be.
the whole game is to just acknowledge and devote to that being. That's it. That's
You
all it
devote.
is.
You can go ahead and go off and play the game. You can do whatever you want to do when you acknowledge it. Because cool, you may not want to be with you the whole time. You may
Mm-hmm.
not want to be there the whole, But it's about acknowledgement, and you go back inside yourself. You put the work into it to go back in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, math currently calls being dark matter, energy, so many names, but it's its own intelligence. It's past the singularity. It's past concept. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
say I can't tell you what it is because it doesn't have a fucking concept. There is no name for it, but it is. It's the B. It's not a concept attached to that. It's an actual fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, it's the one thing, and all this other shit is just concepts, and we exist in the sea of concepts or the sea of impressions, the hellstorm, the world of lights with all this different little bottles of blue and crystals and salts and the Himalayan pinks, and then you got your lemonade bottle around I have empty over here. We have my yellow Topo Chico, white headphones. It's all the same shit,
Mm-hmm.
just arranged differently because it's concepts. These are organized concepts, and we find ourselves here inside the thing, playing the game.
Yep.
So who is that character that you're being? A lot of people fucking have mental breakdowns when they get to this level of shit. They're like, oh my god, this is this. And they start fucking having anxiety attacks. And fucking go into it. Breathe. Let it hit you and fucking destroy you. Like, do it.
Yeah.
It's like that deep breath of annihilation. Taking the breath of annihilation. It's fucking. It gets overwhelming. It's
Yep.
supposed to be overwhelming. You get overstimulated, but when you get overstimulated, that's how you know you're becoming real because you're like, fuck. It's like whenever something's going on, you don't want it to go on. You sit here and you like fucking breathe in. You like push down the bad trip thing. There's things that happen to kids that you can sit here. Oh, that's what I'm synchronizing with. Uh, anyways, yeah, magic and mushrooms. We have these shared things and impressions that's putting out all the time, and we can synchronize with these other beings, and we can take on and like see the condition of the sea and like how things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of the id, the undermind, and we like to keep our collective consciousness dreaming properly as children and not having all these fucked up things going on with them. So they put off their whole thing. Yod He Wahi, Yahweh, right? Word God. Yod He Vahi is the process of, Yod, positive, Hey, negative, come together. Vow, intercourse between the two. Hey, makes the child. Now, what's the first thing a baby does when it was born? Smack it on his ass. Wah! So, Yod He Wahi, because V and W are interchangeable. Like Wunjo inside of the Futhark room is also V or W. They call Wahi Guru, Vahi Guru. They use that for the Sikh religion. It's V and W. V Dub is the, you know, individuation.
Mm-hmm.
So Yod He Wahi is what's said whenever children are experiencing things that are bad, you could say. And then so the world starts singing Yod Wahi, Yod Wahi. And you're tapping in and you're like reaching out as you do that from your internal vibration to see what's going on, checking the mental ethers for the things that are happening bad to the children. As you synchronize with this, you'll start to pull in the information that's going on, like them, all the stuff that happens. It's there. So Wa is the crying child. And when Yod He Wah He is being called or being sung, that's to bring out like things are happening to them. And so the inner child dreamer within us, those of us who are sages, we wake up inside the actual physical field and we take on form as lords, and we walk amongst that local area that's put inside a quarantine to not have everything else infecting the dreaming for all the things that are going on with the kids. Can we make the decision? Do we destroy it, or do we play the game here and we build them? That type of thing. That's what Yod Hey Wah Hey is. I decided to go Woden Ordenson. So Woden's be mad and like sad at the same time. That whole point of like sitting there and you don't know what the fuck to do, and you're just like, ah, you're gonna go the fuck off. That is the definition of Woden. Is when you finally like let yourself go off and you're like breathing and like existing as that fire that's with there, that endless smiling fire thing that's like fuck you up.
Mm.
Woden. But inside of that, you sit there and you also have the Yodin son, the Yod within you. The whole reason why you're fighting is to protect everything and everyone else. Like the actual creator is there with you, behind you. Like, don't worry, bro, I'll res you. Go all in. And you're like, bro. It's all of us together in the battlefield, battle lineup, going into that mode with black armor, like fucking symbiote shit, and having all our shit. Is fucking fear the lords. Goddamn right, pray the Lord. That's how this shit goes.
Yeah.
Hey, why are they doing this stuff to the kids? Why are we having this? Like, I just seen something like Justin Bieber, and like people are touching him and talking like, "Oh, your lips are good," this and that, and this stuff's been right in front of us the whole time. What they've actually been doing here, and like now it's gotten even further into depravity, and eventually, once it gets to that point, who's going to stand up and act? Someone has to stand up and do something, and this is where it comes to the sin me. So we have people out here who are developing knowledge. He would be a great teacher. That guy right there, you want to tell them how you got your name? Your name?
Oh, yeah. So part of the process is going inward and discovering yourself. And I mean that's basically the process, but in there, I was asking, what's my name? What is my like my name? Like not Mike Warren, that's this incarnation's thing.
Yeah.
But what's my name? And just out of the silence, just in meditation, just a name, a full name popped up. It wasn't like a first name and then I was playing with a last names that can fit well, that flow with. And the name that had popped up was Iku Yamako. Just a whole name, just Iku Yamako. And I'm like, the fuck? Okay, Iku Yamako. So
Didn't he?
I was that?
You told me that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Keep on. Keep on.
yeah. And I told Woden, and I was like, hey, this is the name that popped up on my meditation. And guys, he is a wordsmith. Okay, Woden, like when you give him words, he can flip them, play them around, coding, all that shit. Like I just give him a few things, like, oh, that's this, and this, and I'm like, cool. I'm glad I don't need to figure that out because I'm grateful for you and your wordsmithing. And so I gave him Iku Yamako, and when he broke it down, it meant mountain child nourishing. When you break it down, and that's the name meaning of it, mountain child nourishing, and it's like that makes sense.
Because you're
That makes
because
sense.
the sage thing, the sage path. You're here for the kids. The sage wisdom is that we're here for the kids. I'm also a sage, so like, yeah, no.
Yep. So, all
It's
right.
your name just comes from within you. It's literally like I had a whole ceremony behind my shit. My whole,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm sitting there, listening back, I'm smoking, right? I was chill. Next thing you know, I'm like in the backyard by like sitting there visualizing myself with all my different war paints and stuff, and woo, 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 right? Then my little kid selves are there. Then there's a fire in the middle. Fire starts but going over white and black, white and black. All these fucking beings, entities like come up like glowing eyes, different outlines of men, like fox faces and like spider people and all types of shit. They all just arm in arm, brother to brother. These phantom impressions of people I have been. Then these cosmic entities walk the fuck up. They go join arms and they're all moving hand to hand, side to side, and it's like priest of ashes, step forward and burn away everything that you are not. Do. Okay, cool. I guess it's step forward. Step into the fire. Goes the fuck up, black and then white, and like I step out like with the white coat, the axe on my back. I'm sitting here like my fucking hoe, like the hunter's bow and all this shit, everything. I'm fully decked out all the way out, all my garb, all my fucking shit. And it's like Hunu Shizu. I'm like, oh god damn, oh Lord, who knows Jesus? I'm like, oh god damn, but that's my name. I'm like, well, okay. Then just like suddenly ends. The whole badass scene imagery suddenly ends. I'm like, the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm. Where the
I
fuck
remember
did that come from?
the same thing with you,
Yep.
Morty. This is the same. It's a personal way that you're gonna feel it. It
Yeah.
comes to you your own way, but you
Yes.
won't forget what it is. You're like, oh damn.
Man, the first time that happened to me, I was tweaking. Yep.
Yeah,
Can
fucking
feel like that for sure.
what the fuck? Cool, whatever. That's my name. Let's good. Let's go do it. Let's go play the game.
Oh, there we go.
So that's how it happens. It seems so fucking crazy. It seems so wild,
Mm-hmm.
but it's most definitely a thing, and it comes from within you. Like they've been saying the whole time, the kingdom comes from within you. Literally, you have to sit there and like chill, be still. All these things around you, they're just fucking things. Go back to that point of awareness and stillness. Control yourself. Or that's what I recommend to people. You don't have to do the things I say to do, Just like
Mm.
everybody else. You don't do the things that the creator says do. They don't do that anyway. Plenty of things been said. That's why we get summoned. Yod hey wah hey. Now you're gonna see people go out there, get magical powers, and start destroying shit. And then people are like, oh, I want to have magical powers too. And they'd be like, well, fuck. Now you want to join in the fucking game all late and shit. Once you see it's happening, we done built the crumbles of ashes, and then you get to the point where the powers are coming. You're like, oh, I want them too, because you want them for the wrong reasons. You're gonna forget what all this shit we had to go through, and bring
Yep.
that around again.
Yep.
And it's happened. It's going to happen eventually. It's cyclical. It happens over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start teaching the basic yogas, the fundamental principles, the different breathings, how to visualize inside your body, make yourself. That'll become like the new, I guess, normal, whatever. I don't know. And once you
The
have all
new, the
that,
new viral thing, you could say.
yeah,
Like that would be the new. Everyone will be wanting to learn that. Just, I mean, look at spirituality in the last 2 to 3 years. How much that opened up. Like I was not a spirit. Like you would not 4 years ago, 3 years ago, you would not get me talking about God. It would be talking about universe, higher power,
hmm
love, like those things. Because I didn't want to put a guy in a chair in up in the sky type of thing. It's like I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. But I do believe in a higher power. But here I am saying, no, there's a fucking guy that you go to, you talk with, like, and you connect with because it ultimately is at the end of the day. And when you understand what everything comes from, like where everything comes from, it only comes from him and everything returns back to him. It's just him and it's eternity. So you have an eternity to choose to figure it out on your own and do it the hard way or surrender and just be like, it's the guy. And it's always going to be the guy. Your desire for a better life, your desire to take care
sentiment.
of the woman crossing the street, or your desire to put money in a cup with a homeless man. That's God. That desire is coming from God. It's communicating to you. But we put it in a position of, oh, that's me, and I'm doing a good thing. I feel good about myself. Well, where does that feeling come from? Well, it comes from a God. And if you forget about God and you recognize, no, everything comes from Him, well, then you can see everywhere He's been. Everywhere He's been in your life.
Look at
It's
everywhere.
just always there. Like even today, this fucking threw me for a loop because, like I said, I've been going up and down in my states, and
I'll be right back. I gotta take a piece. So just tell
yeah,
me.
yeah, do your thing. And so I've been going up and down in my states, and the last week, 2 weeks, it's been more on the lower side and not being feeling connected, not sensing God as much. And then today, I was just walking in the mall with my son, and it was literally like I can feel God and it's just in my heart. Like literally it's just like it's just surrendering to in my heart. That's where he's waiting. Always waiting with open arms. Patiently waiting, but it's up to you to go to him ultimately. And this is not Christian Catholicism. This is beyond all that. That's all bullshit. But I was thinking about that, thinking about connecting with God internally. And then all of a sudden the song starts playing on in the mall and in the store that I was in, and it's Mariah Carey's Hero. And I have it here.
What the world? What happened? Mike, you still there?
I'm here. Did it disappear? Oh, my thing. Sorry
Yeah.
guys, I thought it would. But Mariah Carey's Hero song came on, and the first two fucking lines of that song, there's a hero. And then if you only look inside your heart, and I was literally like, motherfucker, I was thinking like, he's in your heart, like that's where you need to go. And then I hear that song, there's a hero. If you only look inside your heart, and I'm like, okay, I hear you, Adiyogi, I hear you, I see you, and it's like okay, and that's how he plays the game. But if
He's
you're too ingrained into it, and oh bills, and I can't handle this, and oh my shirt makes me look fat, and blah blah blah, and oh bills, and I can't handle this, and oh my shirt makes me look fat, and blah blah blah. Things. Oh, that person looks ugly. Well, you're not going to see it. You miss all the magic. No, no,
yeah.
we're not the original superheroes. No, 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 no. Beyond that, God is.
Superhero. Just going back to the very beginning, like what is being a fucking alone? He's the original superhero. He's all alone
Hmm.
into the void. We're just joining in with him and gaining powers now.
Yeah,
We acknowledge what we are. You can just choose to acknowledge what we are with him making copies of himself and being like, "I'll teach you how to deal with this, and we can be all together and like play a fun game with each other." Or you can choose to ignore it and then die, and like you'll come back as a different person, and
and try to
hopefully,
figure it out again.
yeah, hopefully the Matrix will be better, and we get to where like everything else is going on. But eventually, you own your hero. Yeah, but you're not the original. We're not the original superheroes. We don't want an infinite money glitch.
Mm-mm.
Not about that.
So
When
okay,
you
if you
give,
got all, well, I mean, when you look at it, you got all the money. Then what? If you got all the money, then what? Infinite money glitch, sure. Then what? Look at GTA, any of those games. You put the cheat codes in and you get all the money. The game's not really fun anymore. I can buy this. It's kind of fun doing this and just wander around. And then what?
that's what Elon Musk is sitting there right now.
Yeah.
And,
He's got
oh
all the
wait,
money to fuck around.
we're developing Neuralink so we can try to get in touch with AI. Motherfucker, sit down and be fucking still for a fucking moment and recognize your mind is an AI.
Hmm.
Like, ah, mm,
But see, here's the thing. What do you mean so people don't have to suffer? Why do you, but see, here's the thing. What do you mean so people don't have to suffer? Why do you get to decide who suffers and who doesn't? It's not part of your process.
yeah,
There may be suffrage needed for someone to come to a realization of God. It's not part of your process.
yeah.
There may be suffrage needed for someone to come to a realization of God, to have their own realization of God. So for you to take away that suffrage from somebody can take away somebody off their path in discovering and realizing God in their own unique way. That's
If
where
I sit
karma comes in.
and give you every fucking thing, if I sit here and become the person and tap into the thing and break down all the stuff, and I can do that eventually. Yeah, eventually we'll get to have that power. But if I did that, then what? Yeah, we can have gardens everywhere, but you're not going. You're taken care of. You're not going to look for anything. You have nothing to strive for. It's like a Wally. That whole thing, how humans were sitting there in the wheelchairs, floating around all fat and shit, and they died off. It's the same fucking thing. That's what it leads to. Utopia becomes its own version of hell.
Mm.
Fine-tuned balance of everyone having to do your own thing, but we're also in this together. We can like have different dreams, teleport to different worlds, and do different shit like that. Do you have any good books to read to learn more about Inky and Enlil? I mean, the Zachariah Stitchin, his stuff, the Lost Book of Inky. You can go into like the Billy Carson, and then they talk about them. Everybody's putting out their own interpretations of these entities now. instead of sitting there looking inside themselves and recognizing like you have an inky part of you and you have an inlo part of you, both within you, and you have to merge them into the purple coat. Okay, it's we can learn more about the lore of the people as much as we want to, but that's learning about somebody else and how they acted and what their story is. But we're making our own stories. You are a character, so I mean, I take it away from. I'm not like trying to attack you or anything when I say it like that. My brain's already said that thing. See, that's my Enlil. That's very Enlil of me when I go into a mode like that.
Mm.
The command, like it's the law, that whole type of thing. But then
Yeah.
Inky is jumping around like, "Hey guys, blah blah." It's Inky and Enlil. I'm showing both of them at the same time. You have to understand that part within you yourself. We have these aspects of us. They're more so mental aspects that lead to a unified field of us being together. Like it's extremely easy to go inside the mind and then get lost. Yeah, it is. I'm an nerd for lore, so it's cool. Cool, bro. I'm glad you're not taking it the wrong way. I'm so sorry if I came off. I don't realize what I'm doing when I'm in the thing, especially with the magic sitting in my cup. You know what I mean? Like, so, uh, literally in the background of my mind, because you song bomb me. It's been going on the whole time, bro.
Hmm?
You song bomb me. Your daughter.
Oh, that's
This
going
is
in the
the
back of the
song
mind.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All I hear, I just hear her come running up the stairs, and I'm like, I better record this. It's a good song. We've been singing it, not knowing why. Just keep on singing it forever, just because.
It's the song that. It's the lure of the song that doesn't end. Oh my god, it's a loop.
Mm-hmm. Just keeps going.
Yeah,
Energizer Bunny.
it was always there. You started singing it at one point in time when you were little. You just forgot. You went
Yep.
off and did it, but the song doesn't end. It keeps on going on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and we'll just keep on singing it forever just because it's a song that doesn't end. We can get stuck in a loop like that.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that would be fucking nutty. Get that things outside to do more things.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do now? Uh, cultivate, stimulate, guide, love, whatever, bro. Once you realize a thing, what do you do with eternity? Go and seek the creator, make your connection so you can save your point. You go through like a quantum tunneling thing. The becoming real,
Mm.
you're running around doing all this crazy shit. Like, I'm doing fucking crazy shit for no fucking reason. But you're trying to keep yourself peaceful and real. It's like all this stuff's going on. You just stay peace.
Mm.
Stay walk with poise. Keep yourself together as the shit show's going on. Because at any point in time, the shit show's there, and you can acknowledge it, just like everything else. You can acknowledge the stillness and everything that's going on here. You can go off and try to like tell like your whole story. Show yourself the way you become real. You're telling the story of how you became real. Now, how do you do that? The only way you become real is the way you become real. It won't be the same way that I became real. But yet I sit here and click to let you know there is a point after that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You seek enlightenment, right? You go out before enlightenment, sitting there meditating. You go get wood for the fire at night. Go get your pail of water. Come back, sitting there. You're like, oh, this is this. Go through a whole fucking thing, an episode, like a movie, because you know the characters inside the shows we watch. They had a life before we start observing them. They were someone else, and then we started observing them. And it's like seeing quantum reality. All the other beings show up and they're watching your show, and you're doing things. You start quantum tunneling as you're doing this and acknowledging the things outside. The way you're doing it right now is a very peaceful way, actually. That's the proper way. You're just doing a personal thing with Adiyogi. Some people want all the show, and they go out and make the show, and it starts to go into where it's a show, and it can get really fucking scary.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really scary, especially if you're losing control of yourself. And now you're sitting here and you're talking to people, and the people they have their own matrices. You're trying to speak and break. You're like, I'm the person. I've become the Christ. Oh, I'm trying to speak to you. Beyond the person that's sitting there and put. You have all the things on. You're not a cop, man. You're not a cop. Like they're like, you're gone, lost your motherfucking mind. You
Yep.
don't know me. I had this whole person, and there are shells and layers of identity that go on to build that person.
Got to
And you,
move within the shadows in the way you communicate.
yep, and you're sitting here actively. You've unfolded and pulled all your shit off. Now you've gotten back to where you're a little kid again. You're like, you all don't understand what's going on. And you feel like a madman that's like moving inside of time. You're like, oh my god, no one knows. You don't know, but really they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They're just playing their story.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Eh,
you had to like, well, who am I going to be from that point of realization once you go through it? The quantum tunneling effect. You're the character having the realization. You're building that within yourself. The world's looking out at you. You're walking around. You're waving at kids. You're doing the whole thing right. We are all like aware. And once you gain so much weight to your awareness, so much understanding about yourself, your own individual being, of what it is to be, you start to summon the system. Like the creator starts paying more attention, starts dialing in on you because you're showing your character. You start playing the game, he starts giving you feedback, just like you're getting, because
yep.
now you're aware of it and you know it's there. And so instead of doing this, like I went through a quick calamity pathway that could really get you like fucked up if you're not a good person. You
Mm.
play the long game and go through it, and it slowly unfolds before you. It's slowly happening, but it's moving really fast. But it's the in between that thing
Mm-hmm.
because it's happening. It's most definitely you're experiencing things, but you have long periods where you're not experiencing shit, and you're like, I done lost it, nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden, boom, the fucking show hits. You're like, I'm back in. This is me. I'm doing the thing.
And then fucks off
Always,
again, and I'm like, where the fuck?
yeah.
But it to me now, it's just surrendering to that's the process for me. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot compare it. Filler episodes, yeah, in a sense, but it's also being tested, right? It's easy to feel turned on and ready to take on the world when everything's flowing and connected. But if I take that all away, so for example, let's put this like this is actually what happened to me, and this is what really started fucking with me. Is there was a period in my time where I literally watched a TikTok video, and this is how the universe or the creator connects to you through the universe is was watching a TikTok video and it was during a workout, so I was taking a rest, and I was watching a TikTok video, and I said, "Spirit speaks to you through music and lyrics on the radio, random stuff, blah blah blah." I'm like, okay, that's enough TikTok. I got to get my workout done. Exit TikTok, turn on my music, and then all of a sudden, the first song that comes on my Spotify is Fleetwood Mac, "You Can Go Your Own Way." And I'm like, nope, don't want to listen to that. So I swipe to the next song, and the next song is from The Greatest Showman, From Now On. So it's like, you can go your own way from now on. The story I made up in my mind was I got kicked out of the club because I wasn't performing. And I'm like, and ever since then, it's been a downfall of not feeling enough, not being worthy enough, not connected. I disconnected, and like how Woden's saying certain things like this.
Mm-hmm.
But God had to let me go to see when the shit hits the fan, where do I turn? Do I give up on him? Do I say like, oh yeah, you know what? Where do I turn? Do I give up on him? Do I say like, oh yeah, you know what? And then all of a sudden it's like, no, that's the only thing I have. Because I couldn't find joy, passion, excitement in my day to day anymore, understanding what I understand. There's only one place, and that's in my heart, and that's connecting to the creator. And so that's the whole part of falling from it and being disconnected is it's like a test. Who are you?
Test over and over again.
Who
The
are
guy
you?
fucking psycho, spiritual, emotional battery test, and it feels like you've been abused. You're like sitting here laughing, like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
so fucked up. But at the same time, how do you test people?
Mm-hmm.
How do
And
you
that's the
test?
biggest fear for me. That was that process. Like it's different for everybody, but that was like being so divinely connected in a way that I could just feel where to go, guided in a direction. It did not matter. I could just think about it and I'd feel it and I'd be like an instant yes or no. To instantly having that stripped away and being into just a normal mental mind guy, like just
Yep.
very man like. And it's
Like,
like,
like, oh goddamn,
yeah,
I'm just
like,
this. All of a sudden, it feels very big, and you feel very small, like a little roach.
yeah,
It's like, but then you step inside yourself, and you're like, no. It's, and it's like you come from inside out. Boom. That's a part of it. It's a part of us sitting here building ourselves up. But yeah, we're disconnected. You can sit here and see yourself disconnected. You have to fall out of it.
mm-hmm.
If you don't fall out of it, you won't understand it for what it is. You know?
Well, that's that now I do. Like I
Yeah.
understand it's everything.
It's all the things in the different motions and different modes. It's
It's
so.
it's
Oh,
it's fucking ridiculous. Like I and you've said these things to me, and I could conceptualize them mentally. Like, oh, that makes sense. I can understand that. But until the plug was ripped away and unplugged, and I'm like, fucking alone. Sense. I can understand that. But until the plug was ripped away and unplugged, and I'm like, fucking alone, like in fear. Like I can't feel God alone when I've been hanging with the dude and I didn't realize I've been hanging with the dude. Fear. Like I can't feel God alone when I've been hanging with the dude and I didn't realize I've been hanging with the dude. And all of a sudden it's gone and I'm like, where is this? I feel so like I would have panic attacks. Like this is the crazy thing, guys. Like nothing going on in my life. On paper, my life is great. Wife, kids,
great.
great
Yeah.
job, great money. On paper, everything's good. And all of a sudden, I'm going on a trip here to Colombia next week and doing a lot of plant medicine exploration there. And I had to change my flights around. And when I changed my flights around, I had to double check to make sure the insurance I had on the flights was fine. I had to re-get it done or whatever. Call them up. Oh, everything's good. No extra money, everything. And as soon as I hung up the phone, dread, fear, worry, anxiety, like an instant panic attack. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, do I go crazy? Do I lose my mind? Do I off myself? Do I, like, what do I do when I'm given these cards? It's coming to here and knowing deep down, there is something for you. It's going into that place of recognizing that things are getting crazy, but I don't let that crazy pour out of me and change or do things. I can maintain myself. It's crazy, but I just breathe and sit in it.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. You just sit there and just breathe and sit in it. Be like, okay, it's actively going on. I admit it's actively going on. I
Mm-hmm.
accept it's actively going on because it is a dream and all things are real. It's going on. This is a place I find myself in right now. Center. How do I choose to be? Movement. You have to go and be put into that thing. You have to be put into the panic attack where the whole world's like, ah, in order for you to decide what the fuck you're going to do.
Yep.
It's like being kicked off. This is the blast off. This is the egg. The egg is shaking. The panic attack is coming on. You're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can fucking do it. I don't fucking know. I can get to go fucking through it.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, I'm through it. I'm through it. Holy shit. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Nope.
Just need to relax and breathe.
Yeah.
Like,
Relax into the now is literally all it is.
It's an active thing, guys. And then you build into the cultivation. You have all the extra things you understand. It's like a sort of madness that goes along with it. Like the madness is there, but you don't exist within it. But you acknowledge it and see it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, now what the fuck's going on out inside the outer world? Yeah, I heard touching kids again, doing this like simple shit by concepts, things that shouldn't be happening. Well, someone's got to take care of that. What's the thing of the workmen? The workmen, we just get up and go out, hi ho, hi ho. And so, like, you go into that. You're supposed to be cultivating your breath, your time. Time is breath. H, right? You sit here and you. By the way, you can sit there and breathe. You can visualize inside yourself the whole light energy and stuff like that. Cool. Now, what do you do with it? Turn it, mold it, shape it. Get to where it can pull in more light. You want more light, a bigger show. Shape it. You pull the energy in from outside yourself. You breathe, or you just sit here and exist, and you cultivate that. You're cultivating your own existence, your eternity. It's like a seed being put into darkness and going the fuck off to go reach out and unfold into how it's gonna be. The cultivating you takes the energy of earth and of the air, the fire of the sun, the water. You're sitting here in the darkness. Yeah, you're like mapping out infinity. But it's like your own private chambers for like the things inside and outside. You sit here and breathe in. You're taking in prana and akash and things like that, and they tell you, see the brown energy, the brown chi coming out, or the dull gray chi. You let it out, and you sit here and breathe in and take in all the beautiful colors and let it go to your system. And you have the energy moving around in your Diantian, and then it goes down, it comes up through the chakras, and it spins all the spinning. It separates and makes the different pools. Come back up, come back down. You can feel it crown your head. Roll your eyes up slightly. Feel it right here. Go down. Bring back to your Dantian. Take another breath. Compress it. Feel your body compressing down. Dragon condenses pearl. Right? Breathe in. Sit down to the root. Go back up through your chakras. Come out a different way, a different angle. Move around. You can keep on doing this and going inside different angles in different ways, and you can loop the toroid as your energy is going through yourself like the atomic way. You can sit here and visualize all this stuff going in and without and give your energy the pathway to do the things, the will. You build it from within yourself. And you understand the energy. You're
Mm-hmm.
you have it all figured out, don't you? Not all of it. I have a good bit of things figured out. I don't share everything with everyone. You can't tell everyone everything. There's a reason why I click, and this is about being in the click and being in the game. But I'm definitely telling people like, "Yo, we're here. We're in the lobby. Play the game." You can sit there and get the powers. Cool. You do all the cultivation, all the breath and stuff like that. But then often people go out and they have everlasting life, and then they die. And what was the one thing that happened? We mourn them because you've died.
Oh, in the click, I get it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're gone. Like when you're gone, you're gone. That's everlasting life. If you understood the creator, the click, we're with the friend, you're with the oldest friend within us. We're a part of it. We're the click, we're the cool kids. We come back, and all the things you cultivated and done uh, actually means more because you'll always be brought back. That's the resurrection.
Yeah, somebody was asking earlier about um, if we had our past memories, if we came back with our past memories. This is essentially what is happening. You come back as who you are, but you remember everything. You remember all the cultivation techniques, all you keep all the cultivation energy, kind of like playing a video game. Imagine
Yep.
playing, I don't know, Zelda or Ocarina of Time or whatever. You're playing a video game with not saving once. So you can get right to the very end and, some little friggin' goblin kills you. All your skills, everything lost. You have to restart the game and do it all from the beginning.
Gone.
Everything without remembering how to do all those puzzles, right? Whereas when you're going back to the creator and creating your save point, because he knows who you are, he knows what you're about, knows your character, then when you die, you just get plugged back in. Like it's like a save file. Oh, reboot the save file.
You get back up. But we're
And you.
actually fucking people. That's why I click. The show is coming from inside of me. It is not of me.
Mm-hmm.
And you start hearing things within you, and it starts going off. It's a whole thing. We're in the lobby.
Yep.
We're
This
just
is the whole point.
literally. That's the whole point. The point is getting back to the point.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. There's a man in the sky. Oh, he doesn't look like us, but he does look like us. I
Mm.
mean, kind of. I mean, look at that. Our face is very similar. Nondescript dudes with beards.
Yeah, I guess, eh?
We could put on hoods and because we like walking around being cool, having our hood on. Maybe my thing. That's what's fucking around. I'm being to give magic's my cut, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's all it is. That's the whole point. It's the whole point is to go back and connect with the creator. And meditation, number one thing. Meditation is more important than selflessness. Meditation is more important. Yeah, trust in the Lord. That's what we're saying. Trust in the creator. But it's
I've heard.
also not this idea because you got to understand if the creator created everything, right? The creator created all the wood, all the rocks, all the materials. Well, if the creator created everything, the dude can create a church. The dude can create a statue. He doesn't need us to build that shit, to devote to a statue or to a thing. It doesn't need us. He wants us. He wants us to go back to him, and he's waiting for it. Why is meditation more important than selflessness?
His voice, you see? Oh my god, you can't even hear your voice, bro. It's so great.
Why? What's my voice sound like?
Like a computer.
Oh, really?
Your voice.
Everyone's going off on my computer voice here. The AI's kicking in, you guys. The bots are coming.
And see, the magic happens. I like to go around being like the hooded ones. Someone give me a passion it's lighter, and I can
Mm.
sit like, boom, have my hood on and walk around the sun, or walk around with nothing. See, like I did. See, it's the right stuff.
I don't hear it, so I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. There you go. Enjoy it. It's all for you, not for me. Just through me.
It's literally like saying the things are happening.
Yep.
It's actually a thing.
Yep.
Everyone. He goes like, "What's up, guy? I know that guy." Yeah, no, these things are happening. It's wild. So I got this whole the Passion thing, dude. I went to like Specs to pick up the mead for my mushies, and I was walking around like being a dude. Had the Passion on. Middle of summer, Texas, or not summer, but spring. Coming out of the winter, and I'm walking around like this, have the thing around my head, and just like walking, like I just walked out the cave, and like walking into the normal people world are like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
But it's so cool. I like it. It comes from my inner self, and I have my own purpose. When I'm walking around the woods, and I like to put everything out, or don't let the sun on me to burn me up. The sun gets hot sometimes, especially if you're not cultivating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cultivating, but not trying to cultivate too much. It's a delicate balance between the two, because I got to keep myself inside of a state of if everything goes down and the world is destroyed, right? And we cultivate so much, and we lose the understanding of what this feels like when we were mortal. We can sit here and have the energy to do anything we want in our body, break down all the poisons, everything like that. But how do we survive? How do we make sure mankind continues on? We can eat foods. We can eat anything and break it down. It would be poisonous to us. But we understand the concepts of energy and chi and our internal cultivation. They live on the external world. They're not like that. They're not built like us. So there's different foods and stuff that you can eat and feed them. We can go out and eat all the roots and stuff. But one thing that you know, if you kill it, you can eat it and it won't kill you. And that's the survival mechanism that comes down. So it's another part of it. You're killing their source of God and you're eating it. Does to continue your life until the knowledge goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So this was stuff. Dude, I'm digging this computer voice. Talk more, man. Fuck yeah, this is dope.
Is it still kicking off there?
Yeah,
Like,
it's still doing whatever the fuck it's doing. It's
oh,
just
that's
I
fucking
it's kicked on the way it's like it kicked on.
that. Okay, how meditation is more important than selflessness. So when it comes to selflessness, right? This is my interpretation, my perspective of understanding this, and it comes from this book here, the Gita, right? Just came across this, and so what it is you wanting to go out and having a desire to help people. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing bad about that. However, it does produce karma, negative or positive. Karma's karma. The whole goal is to become neutral with all karma so you can get out of samsara. So you're not doing the loops again. And so when you're doing the selflessness thing, you're going to help somebody, off the street or help somebody, move or whatever. The selfless is giving, right? Unconditional giving, if you want to call it that. You feel a certain way when you help that person. I know what I'm talking about. That's what I do. And so that feeling is God communicating to you. But we associate that I feel good because I did the thing. But who gave you the desire to go do the thing? Who gave you the desire to put money in that man's cup to feel good? Where's the source of the feeling good coming from? It all comes back from the Creator. So on one note, when you give in a way, it can be put into a position where you are acknowledging yourself when it's ultimately the Creator. But the Creator's doing it for you to recognize to go back to Him. That's where the feeling comes from. And so the other side of it is if the person is struggling and you take them out of their struggle, that's where I'm just laughing, bro, at a computer chip. But if
We
you
don't
take
know
the
why.
guy out of the struggle, the individual out of their struggle, maybe it's in that struggle that they realize God on their own. And so you may take them off of their path, and that's where karma comes in, good, bad, right, or wrong. So I hope that answers your question there about the meditation. So meditation is you connecting with God. That's why it's more important.
Yep. Stillness. Just be present there inside. And then move from the inside out.
Hmm.
Who you are as your the person that you've decided you're going to be for eternity.
Hmm.
And so that have to have people that are in the way. There's going to be suffering because people choose to suffer.
Hmm.
They literally, you can tell them, don't do the thing. They go and do the thing
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. Yep. It's literally my buddy is in that position right now. Like
And now
gout.
stop doing the thing.
He gets gout a lot because he eats a lot of fucking sugar. So I'm telling him, like, dude, stop eating sugar. Yeah, man, I know. I got to stop eating sugar. I'm gonna stop eating sugar. Then I'm talking to him on the phone, and he's like, "Yo, give me that. That chocolate tastes so good. Give me that." And I'm like, "I'm just not gonna stop telling you, man. Like,
Y'all see
suffer.
that? It's normal again. Your
I'm
voice,
normal now."
yeah, your voice just became normal again. No idea why.
No more robot. I wanted to hear what the fuck I sounded like. Guess what? What's up, Darren? What are
Bro,
we
I got
guessing here?
this live, man, so you can hear that shit. This shit's so trippy. It's so dope.
Uh,
But it happens. He's showing himself. Like literally, you just like heard like the computer voice thing. What's the first sound like? Y'all might hear him going off inside of you. You might hear a voice coming from nowhere. Like, what the fuck? Life is a trip. It most definitely is a trip. Life is a trip. Row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. It's a trip. It's a game. It's art. Literally,
mm-hmm.
and we're like literally living in this right now, in the now, in the moment, in the now.
Yep.
And then you
I'm
go
gonna,
back.
I'm gonna, I was gonna ask Darren when he said guess. I was just gonna say unicorns are real. That's what he's gonna say. Guess what? But it's what's 9 plus 10? Well, there's many answers to that question. Many answers.
X1X or XIIX.
Well, 9 plus 10, it could be, what would that be?
The nine,
19, 1 plus
nine
1 would be
father.
1 plus 0, which would be just 1,
Yeah.
if you break it
Nine the
down
father.
numerology ways.
You go in and add 9 plus 10 together. Then you have what? Oh, 109. The father back into the creation. The zero, the whole, back to being one. But it all goes and back to the creator.
Or 19. Exactly. I said there's many different answers.
Exactly. What are you? What lexicon are you using? What thing? We all have our own individual thing inside, and we can sit here and see how things grow and develop and stuff.
It's the
So,
same question as, asking, well, what is READ spell? Does it spell read or does it spell red? In what context are you using it? Yeah, 10 plus 9 is 19. But
yeah,
in
it's literally.
numerology, you can simplify it to a single digit, which would be 1.
And then you also have nine, which symbolizes completion, the
Mm-hmm.
number of father, and then you have zero that's there, and you have the one. You can play with the things that's they're literally characters. What the fuck is nine, bro? Nine is a character. You have a concept behind it that nine means this many, and then you're putting on the 10 means this many. But these are concepts that are taught to you to build your world, your foundations. Literally,
Mm-hmm.
they're fucking concepts. Nine is all the dimensions. Who says why there has to be 9 dimensions? Why can't there be infinite dimensions? Put the nines together. Two nines, the Pisces. We're in March. Anyways, the Pisces, the two fish swimming together. Infinity. Because zero. Exactly. The creator. Zero. Nothing. No one. Lazy
Mm-hmm.
eight. It's all right there. It's all inside like the fine tunement of him doing things. So you're asking what's 19? That's a concept. Like it's literally 19. Uh, you may not be that. You can say that you aren't a god. No. But at the same time, if the creator takes a copy of himself, drains it of its light, and it's like, here you are. You come from me. I've given you everything that you are. Everything that I am is in you. Show me how you play with it and what you're going to do with it. We built a little matrix around you. We gave you the concepts. You can go on forever. Eternity is endless. You can sit here and pull back inside yourself and teleport to all the other things. Once you've gained stability into the matrix, you've gotten that. But like the creator is still there. You do not just be for no damn reason. You're comfy, so you'll stay here. And so you'll stay here.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm here. It's pretty comfortable. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning how it works. But you can also walk around and be a character that decides to move through dimensional gateways and do all that shit like that. No problem with that either.
What do
But
you
being
decide?
the God, the creator, takes a copy of himself. There's zero, there's nothing. So he makes a copy of himself and drains of the light and wisdom of everything that it is and has happened and lets you be here right the fuck now to decide who the fuck you're gonna be. conception, concept ion. Who comes to an end? The gods do, but so does man. So does Devas, or the devils, the asuras. All this shit, it's a play until you decide to become fucking endless, and that's what the whole lords are about. You're part of the lore of the lords, and you pop up and you're like, hey, I'm singing my song. There is no end. This is a song that doesn't end. Once again,
Yeah, if
back
you're
to
looking
that.
at the physical there, then yes, people do die and they end.
Mm-hmm.
But what about their consciousness? What about their awareness? What about
I
that? That continues on. It's eternal,
want to have a cigarette anyway. You do this.
right? And so yeah, you are right. There is only one God, capital G, one God. But there are others, lords, the Odins, the Thors, the Zeuses. There are them, but they still aren't supreme. There is only one God.
Yeah,
But
we're
who
talking about.
created everything? And it's all about going back to Him and acknowledging Him.
You hear me
That's all
good,
it
Mike?
is.
Oh, wait. Y'all can hear me this janky headset?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh,
Show me now. Show me this. Do I control these clicks? You are your own person, right? You are your own entity. We're just talking about you. Because I have a save point and turned on my soul, because you're not all souls until you turn on the soul. There's a whole process of going into it to make a soul. Like, once you're in, you're in. And so we give off the electricity thing. If I die, use these electrical pulses from the Ethernet that's all around to rebuild my body inside various ways and stuff. Because I know you. Like, we can play a game and everything like that. But I'm coming back here. I'm dialed into this local time. Like, this time sphere, this planet, this place, this plane, this dimension. I'm dialed in here. And I come back here to fix the fucking problem that's going on. And this is the kingdom of the now, right now. Yeah, nation soul, very much so. It's the nation soul. Once you form your character and you did the whole thing, it's the nation soul. Oh, there's a question. Go on. Let's see how this goes. Hello, fellow speaker.
What's up, guys?
holler.
What's up?
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to some dude. I was talking about cultivation and stuff.
Yep. Connect with the Creator.
Yeah.
You're the dude from Twitter. I remember you.
You guys having a good night?
Got magic mushies, man. God,
I
man. Just got things going on.
I seen you put your mic in your ear. I was wondering what you're up to.
That's the clicks, dude. Like literally, I sit here and speak to the dude all the fucking time. There's actually like the creator. He's real, and like he's telling the story. Like he's going through the experience himself, and like noticing things, marking the things down to be a sage. There's certain things that we're communicating, and just now, like he was speaking earlier, sound like a fucking robot voice. Why the fuck did that happen?
Everyone was having a blast with it. I wish I could have heard it. It
You're gonna
seemed
get. I'm gonna
entertaining.
save this stuff. It
Beep
was
boop
so
boop
fucking great.
beep beep beep.
Literally, and you were talking about. Oh my god.
T1000.
Yeah. So we're having fun. We're playing the game.
Sounds like fun.
Very much so. How's your night going?
That's going good. Can't sleep, so I get on TikTok. Makes it better, right?
I guess so. I don't know. I can't sleep. I go and I don't know. What the fuck do I do? I can't sleep. Meditate. I hop on Twitter, get in spaces, sit back and breathe. Go inside myself. You know, the day of the night, the day of the sage is actually the night, being awake all the time, and then you start cultivating and getting like information and all that stuff like that.
What is the day of the sage?
The night when
Uh,
you're
what
sitting
what
there all alone.
but what kind of religion is it?
No, it's not a religion. It's just a fucking
Mm.
thing.
That's just a thing. I never heard
The
of it before.
sage, the sages are wise, are like the wise men. It's like it's written about inside the Bhagavad Gita. They talk about what the day is. Let's see. I'm gonna go through all like my local lexicon to my brain to go access it. The day of the sage is night, when everything the world is asleep and it's all quiet outside you, because you have that all the time. You can sit here and close your eyes and be like present, and you just are and experience your own awareness.
Yeah.
And then when you open your eyes and look outside you, there's all these things going on, which is the day of man. Mankind walks around when the lights out. Everyone's out doing all the things and making all the noises and the hustle and the bustle and all that stuff like that. And then eventually the sun goes down and it turns to night, and they're still doing things. But about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, the witching hours, there's really nothing going on. But there's still people moving around in the backgrounds. And so it's
So
the nighttime whenever the sage wakes up. When you can't go to sleep at night, you're just fucking awake, you're there. And somehow you're like, I
Hmm.
don't even know how I'm living my life right now. You can go like 2 hours of sleep constantly. And you're like, you're doing things in the day of men. You're doing things until the nighttime as a sage because you just can't fucking sleep. And you're going
Yeah.
back and forth between these two worlds, very much so, until you're like, oh shit, I'm an awareness. I'm the light inside of it.
you know what I thought was crazy? You brought up a story that I read in the Bible about how Jesus would go after his disciples and everybody had gone to sleep. He needed peace and quiet to talk to the Father, so he would go up on top of the mountain or he'd go in the woods. He would go wherever he could to get in his quiet place, and he would
Mm-hmm.
go and he'd have those conversations with the Father, and it's like it would just change the whole dynamic.
Yeah,
You
you
know
go be
that
alone by yourself.
yeah that good quality time.
Mm-hmm. The woods where no one listens. You're speaking to the wilderness, but you're not. You're
That's like
speaking.
the
Your attention's going toward a certain person.
that's like the saying, if the tree falls and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
No, the tree was perceiving. It
It
was aware
made
of
the
its own
sound.
existence. It made a sound. The
Mm.
roots picked up at everything. The whole thing was feeding off of itself. Made a sound. We're never alone, but it's where the people, you know, you don't want to be where the people are whenever you're
Yeah.
doing your conversations with the Father.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's why at night is
Mm-hmm.
most of the people are sleeping. So collective consciousness is calmed down a little bit. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier to get through the noise. Like you can just even feel it in your day-to-day busy life. When you're up and the world is awake, it's noisy, it's stressful, it's just everything. It's hard to sit still to calm oneself. But at night, when everyone's sleeping, it's not just because all the wife and the kids are sleeping and you have the night to yourself. It's you being able to tune down because the consciousness collectively is slowing down.
That
You'll,
reminds me during COVID, like it was so quiet
there you go.
outside, no airplanes, no cars, like it was crazy,
And
crazy
why do you
quiet.
think? Yeah, and why do you think it got so spiritual in those 2 to 3 years? Because everything
Yeah,
slowed down collectively, consciously.
it was easier to
The
breathe.
way.
There you go. The water's stilled. When the water's stilled, you can see the reflection of who you are. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
to see in
If
murky waters. It's hard to see when waters are moving, splashing about. You can't see reflection. You can't reflect.
you become
And
awake,
yeah,
awake in the waters, where it's all splashing. This is the daily day. Oh, it's splash, splash. Oh my God, we're drowning. We're drowning. But nighttime comes and it's like you sit here. You can still splash around, like, oh, I can't control my life. All the things are going on. The world's so fucking crazy, blah blah. Or you can become awake, still inside like the whole thing. And then when it comes to the point of stillness, you can look through and see yourself, and also see the creator looking back, be like, "Yeah, bro, we here."
It's like a duck in water. Most of us are like a duck in water. You know, calm on the surface, wide open on the inside.
Yeah, you don't see those little feet
No.
motoring along underneath the water, and they just look like they're floating. Hmm.
It's the spiritual transformation that's happened. People are like, we don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, well, we know. We don't know what the fuck's going on, but something most definitely happening. And it's like, all right, so what are you gonna do? So you're a character. You're building your character. You've made your character. Well, what do you exist for? Me personally, I fucking did my 40-day fast, went all crazy because 6-year-olds commit suicide here. And I'm like, all this cool shit around. How can they? They don't even know what the fuck it is. Why are they taking themselves out the fucking game?
Hmm.
Because something has fundamentally, fun mind, right? Fundamentally gone wrong here. The shit's
Yeah.
breaking themselves here. I don't care what the fuck adults do. Don't choose to have kids. Don't do this. Don't do that. But if you're 6 years old and somehow they have the consciousness and they're sitting here killing themselves because the dreaming's gotten that bad, fuck something up. Oh, he went offline?
No, no, I'm here.
I know, he disappeared.
Oh, he disappeared.
Yeah. Not everyone's reason for the kids. Some people can be here for, like, I guess, other people to be all, oh, we're here together, the sons of men. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm here for the babies, what's going on, bringing the powers, getting the shit going on. You gotta be there
Hmm.
for eternity. You gotta be there doing the damn thing. You've gotta be going. So, my reasons for the kids, fundamentally, fun, duh. I'm here to bring the fun from under the sea. I'm here to bring the undermind. Be like,
Bingo.
nah, there's a fucking thing.
It is. It is absolutely a thing. Awaiting the second coming. Yeah, that's not a. That's you. It's up to you to make that happen. Not the guy ain't coming to get you. I don't believe that at all. Jesus ain't coming back to. It's up to you to go and connect.
He's within us already. So it's up to
Already.
you to recognize it. Meet him
Yeah.
in the air, the cloud above your head. Now, me, when I go ahead and go off and go do the things, they're like, oh, he's Jesus. Fuck, I'm not. I'm not Jesus. Did he Satan? I'm not Satan either. I am my own person. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm doing my thing. Yeah, everyone dreams for greener grasses, but never willing to journey for the water. Yeah. I'm talking about the collective. As a collective getting together. That's we come here in the brotherhood of Christ, understanding that like the person that's looking out of our eyes and speaking through us is like there, like he's a perceiver, receiving everything. He's within him. He's within me. He's within you. He's within all of us. Yeah, so the grass is greener on the other side because you're not over there messing it up. Not true. The grass only seems greener. Once you get through this illusion, you're like, oh fuck, it's still the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have the situation that's going on now. People are trying to escape that. You'll have a planet. There'll be many other things. Like, we will be getting upgraded. Will we be getting upgraded? Some people will. It comes from within you. That's what we've been talking the whole time. It's from within yourself. You can't just give the power to everyone. But by you getting it, receiving it, understanding what this is, you're here for 1,000 years only, and then you can go to another world, transferring on, doing stuff like that. At least 1,000 years you have to spend here. So if you're going to accept that upgrade, to be ruled for 1,000 years with Christ, that whole thing, where Christ will rule on the planet for 1,000 years. That's us waking up and be like, oh, Christ consciousness is within all of us. It's a whole thing. He's there. It's not AI. AI means love. It's all the thing that's always been there the whole time. What do you think of the new anti-aging breakthrough? It'll be a fucking hell for the people. That's what it'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, revert your DNA, and then you become present. You become aware, and you still sit here and you're looking at people, and you're like, oh, these motherfuckers is simple, and now you're stuck here with them. You can't die and go on and go to other places. No, I can die. I'm gonna get back up here because I have a job to take care of. It's a mission I accepted. You go through it. Age reversal. What the fuck does age mean when you come from singularity? You can be any age. The gods could shape shift and take on different forms. So then what? Save the kids. I'm giving you all time. I'm giving humans, mankind, the time to go out and save the kids, to see the wolf inside sheep's clothing, being cosmic space dad, being a very nice dude, and then, well, when I start to act, you'll think I'm the villain, but I'm not. We're not God, but you hear the clicks inside my head. The clicky clicks that when I take this and I'm like, you're the dude that lives in the abyss, right? The person who started all this, it comes from within me. Did you hear that? That's God. I don't know where the fuck it comes from. It's in there. Like, I'm not doing nothing to control this, bro. That's normal, bro? Nah, it's not. Apparently, you ain't understanding what the fuck I'm putting down.
Mm-hmm.
That
Click, click.
means the resurrection. And see, I still even wonder about that. What if people went through the whole process, got the clicks, and they sitting around here clicking, not knowing what the fuck they got?
Mm-hmm.
They done forgotten. Like, could that happen? I guess it could happen. But then you lose the clicks because I've known people. So it's not normal. It's a present and awareness. I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
do a thing. I'm giving the message before it happens because there's gonna be a fucking thing. And when it fucking goes off, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, it's happening. Yes, bitch, it's fucking happening. We're here, me and him, we're here to tell you the shit's gonna happen. But it's coming from within you. And it's not the way that you would think it is. I forgot because I'm protected though. People always say that. You haven't gone inside yourself. Once you go back inside yourself and you come to realize it, like there's a dude, he's there. Yeah, people. Yeah, people sit here like I'm protected by the Spirit of Christ and the Lord, and that's my thing. I'm like, I don't even think you understand what that is. It's more than that. You're putting yourself inside the egg. You're not ready to step over. Oh, I built a temple inside myself, and I also found a temple when I was younger, running around. I guess both happens, but I built my temple inside myself. I don't know. Do I ever get mad at God still? Do you still get mad at God? Probably. I gotta be there. I know. I'm not gonna lie. What are you?
Do you still get mad?
It's
Typo.
that love and light shit. Yeah, I'm scrolling up and like looking at what's going on. I'm seeing people talking. Now, was born, must die. I don't mean to like ignore it. Yeah, it's more than that. Did you actually build your temple inside yourself, or did you find it? I was my first thing I came across was not my. It was my temple, but it was because I was 10, and some things that happened, and I ended up going through the black hole singularity gate back then as a child, not realizing what I did was running around the astral, and I found my temple there, and it pulled in and synchronized with it here, and so I started going through that temple inside myself. But it's also like it's there within everyone. You have your own temple. We have our own spaces, right? You have your own space too, right? It's
Yep.
there within us. It's some weird quantum thing, superposition. There's a bunch of sciencey shit behind it, but it's a thing there. A bunch of concepts that build up with it, and like there's all these concepts that layer it to make the things become things. But still, the active awareness and presence, you being actively aware and inside the moment right now, that is the thing. Because the creator is aware actively, his own person. All this is made so we can have an experience. So it's from the temple within. You show it inside yourself, how you're meditating, how you're acting, all your things like that. You're showing your thing and getting acknowledgement back, feedback. That's what it's made for. Oh my God. What do you think about electromagnetic frequency? It's like layers. It's very much like layers. He can be an ass sometimes, but I'm also an ass, so I can't complain. The creator completely can be an ass. He's his own person. The point is for you to get across that he is his own person.
Yes.
Black holes, yeah, your eyes, dude. There's two black holes right there inside of our eyes. There's a black hole. That's a flat Earth. You sit here and you're looking out. Your iris looks like a little flat little thing, and you have like the cornea over it. How do you perceive the information coming from within you? And when you close your eyes, you're sitting here in blackness, the black hole. We are all singularities taking in light or information to make your character. The creator is like the first thing, the first being. And so when you move away the light and you take away all your senses, you can do all that stuff, right? You can not have sight, taste, touch, smell, nothing like that, hearing, nothing. You can sit there and there's nothing. Then what? You still are. You still exist even without the things. That's the first state that the creator started off in. That's the beginning and that's the end. But he was all alone. So you want someone else. You don't want to sit here and like be in control of everything all the time. You want to like play the game. You want to have your kids. You want to like make things. So it's the unfolding from that darkness and you sitting here and looking at it for what it is, seeing it. And like then you unify with it, all for one and one for all. He's for everyone, but he's also the first being. And when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, like the first being sitting there, be in the darkness, there's nothing. What do you do? How do you just sit there and spend your whole eternity in nothing? So you build things, you make things, you structure things, you find a way to pass your time. It's like we're all the children of a great clocksmith, and we're sitting here and we have the plans to the clock, right? The plans to the clock hidden right here in the image, and we have our own little thing, and we're putting our thing in. As we all put our thing in, the image or pattern of the whole clock emerges, and we're like, oh, it's a fucking thing. But you have to get your pieces and know who you are.
Mm.
And so you can put your pieces into place and be like, it's an active action that's going on. No, that's Christ. The creator like will show up. The person who's morphing faces and changing everything, that's the Christ. Because he's literally within you. The light bringer, Lucy Pharaoh, the morning star. The person shifting faces, that's the Christ. He can look like any of us. He's within every one of us. But he's his own entity, moving around, shifting faces. We are more stable. That's the burden he takes on himself. That's himself to make this all work. And Lucifer, Lightbringer, looking out of our eyes, all the different faces we are. It was colorful though, like art paint. Yeah, that's the dude. That's that dude. The creator is beyond concept. It's like you sit here and close your eyes in darkness. The other person walking up to you, having the different colors and all the like the faces shifting and stuff, that's part of the children. Yeah, he showed you the morning star. The devil is alive.
The concept that is perpetuated is a lie, but the
Mm-hmm.
dude exists. Satan does exist, but it's not the way that it's been told.
Turning around through a mirror, lived. Once you've lived, you know your devil. You know the shit that you can get into. You know how dark you can go. You can sit out here and all of a sudden start doing all these drugs and doing all the crazy stuff and being like, ah, running around completely fucking crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is that really a life you want to live? And that's where this shit like ramps up. People ramp up, ramp up, ramp up, ramp up. More, 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 more. No stability. You break through, then you're going to do the crash and burn. End up inside of an insane asylum. Because you didn't understand where it comes from and have the sense within yourself and have everything built out from within your own internal presence. Understanding the creator is real and what you are. They just boop. But there's individuals out there. The person walking around with the many different faces, like what he's experienced, that's the Christ. The Christ and the Son are also one. Like they say that. So he may show up. Like I seen a face that popped up, shadowy face. It's like smoky. Had the colors all on the outside and was smiling at me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? But it was like, oh, it's the face. The face that's within every one of us. And then the creator is literally like the awareness. Like sitting there and being. And he's like, yo, I'm here. I'm in the darkness. The Christ is the sun. And the eyes are out there. And like, yeah, he's king. But also the creator, like, without knowing the creator, you're not coming back. And so the two work together. The Father, the Son, and then your character becomes your ghost. We're like the Nazgul, the Rangaraiths, coming from the Creator, who's the day of the Lord is darkness. Amos 5:20. Why is he in darkness? Because we can close our eyes and sit here and we're in darkness. So we come, we ride. The Nazgul ride. You're joining in with the cool thing. Look like living AI art. Yeah, but that's already there. We already have this inside of us. It's already inside of us. And it's just understanding this shit and be like, okay, there's a point of stillness, a point where all the shit, because you'll speed up and you can go to where it's really fucking crazy. There's a point of stillness where there's someone else who designed this shit. We didn't make it. We're just here inside of it. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. And then you go back into that. You got close to him and he morphed into a snake. What is this? I don't know. That's not him. You can scream at him, and he always tends to just sit there and be like the dark thing. He's the looming dread, the never ending terror. If that makes any sense. Because he is that he is. He shows his qualities all the time. Yeah, Christ the Son, the Creator, work in tandem. He's the constant, eternal doom. He's always there. The Creator's like, you can see me as the eternal doom. You can see me as the prison warden. You can see me as a person that won't let you out. You can go all against me all you want to. Or you can understand what the fuck it is you live in, that you have your own, like, you exist now. He wants other people that are cool. Yeah, the creator, the demiurge, not evil. The demiurge is different. Because the demiurge, Yaldabaoth, he remembers Sophia. He remembers a female. He remembers he had a mom. Creator doesn't have anyone. There was nothing before him. He just knows he wakes up and he was there and he's like, I'm fucking here. Oh my god, I exist. I am. Fuck. What the fuck do I do with eternity? I am. Fuck. And he like makes stuff. He had to figure out the whole like concepts. What do you do before there is thought? What does a sound like? We take all these things for granted.
Mm.
That we've known sound, that we know taste, that we know touch. We know all this stuff. This was built around us.
Well, even a big thing that you shared with me the other day was talking about like when I wasn't feeling God. And for those of you that have been in that connected state, it's like this internal certainty, you could say protected, but it's like this faith, an unwavering faith that God's got your back. And you have some sort of certainty in that. So here's a question that Woden asked me, and I was like, blew my mind. I felt alone without God. I didn't feel like I had that power, and there's a bit of a fear there. So the question was, well, what does God feel? Does God have a God? So think about that. It instantly turned into gratitude for me. The fact that I can even experience the fact of missing that protection, that certainty of faith in behind me, that there's somebody walking with me. God doesn't experience that because it's just him.
He knows it's just him. He knows he started this shit.
He don't he's just there.
He's telling everyone like I am. Like I've been. Let me see. Do you think the humans on this earth, who's immortal in the human form? Yeah, there are immortals walking around. That's why I'm talking. Like I'm an immortal now. Guys, I fucked up. In order for you to become an immortal, you have to like decide to become an immortal, and you go through a series of checks and balances and tests, and you earn your immortality. So you know that for better or for worse, you did it to your fucking self. But you met the creator that's inside like the whole process, and like, okay, cool. The creator exists. He's real. That's the whole why. The point is the creator. That's the point. There's someone else that's there to not have anyone, not be alone. And then everyone else, we all exist out here looking out of our eyes. The person perceiving, that's the brotherhood of Christ. The Christ is what allows us to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, and for us to experience. Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, those are the same thing. Spirit's mother, Ghost is father, Creator is the all. Makes Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, male, female, and then positive, negative. Dance together, make the things, right? The things come out. The different identity, the vowel, yod, hey, positive and negative come together. Vowel, intercourse between the two, hey, make the things. But at the same time, when positive and negative mix together in spiritual form, it makes like a neutral baby. We have our own polarities that we're doing. We go around telling our stories and stuff like that. A woman's telling her story. Come together like Assassin's Creed. Oh, boom, baby's born, new person dropped into here,
Hmm.
and then like we go on and we keep on. You can live with each other. You can do your whole thing, that whole thing. But that's part of the Yod Hey Val Hey thing. So
A
the
way.
mortals are here.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
the mortals here, and we walk around, and like you become an immortal. You go into the whole thing. The whole goal for this is for everyone to become an immortal. But they have to accept that themselves, and they have to learn the levels to it. You can talk about it, sounds fucking crazy when you talk about it. So you have that people able to present it and being like, okay, guys, this is a thing. It's
Hmm.
not like I'm getting super a lot of views. I'm able to sit here and like talk about it with people and be like, this is a thing, but I'm not always here because I'm gonna go out and play the game too. And so you're having people like showing up, and we do the thing. The immortals are actually here in human form, are walking around.
Hmm. A simple way to look at it, think of it,
Nope,
is like an
you can't reverse
orchestra.
it. Yep.
It's like the song that never ends. We're not joking. It just goes on. And so, what is your note? What tone are you bringing to the orchestra? Are you going to play a loud note? Are you going to play just a subtle note in the background? What is your vibration? What is your frequency? And your note might be gone for the first three quarters of the score. And then it comes in the fourth quarter and continues on from there, just like an orchestra. Each of us is a singular note that we get to choose how it gets played.
You are your own person. Once you're
Hmm.
an immortal on this earth in this form, is there any way to reverse that? Like, I guess a person could give it back if they want to. Like, oh, I
But
didn't mean to do that. But
why
I
would
doubt that
you?
they would do that. And once you go through the experience, you've had the experience. Why the fuck would you? There's still the whole game to go play. Now you get back up. You can get all the powers. You can have all the things. You understand what the fuck's going on, why the powers had to be taken, because you can see the kids acting out, throwing fucking shit in Walmart and going all crazy. And imagine that baby could throw a fucking fireball. Whole shit being fucking gone. So our powers had to be taken. You had to be grown to a certain level where you could understand what the fuck's going on. You at that level now, you can choose. You are aware. You can step forward into eternity and be like, oh yeah, I'm immortal. I'm a part of the immortal body. I'm with the creator. You can walk inside that and like fall into it. It's like a madness dream. Feels like a fever dream. It feels fucking crazy. You go through all these things inside yourself, these checks, and it's by the 1,000 points that you go through, all these different things you're experiencing. You build your image of yourself, of who you will be in eternity. You're gonna have things come against you, but if you don't have something come against you, you can't decide who the fuck you're gonna be.
Mhm.
So it's all working together to allow you to decide who the fuck you're gonna be in eternity. And eventually you'll go out and be doing things, and a person's gonna be like, that motherfucker's evil. Are you evil? No, you're being you. But you're being whatever you need, whatever they need at the time, apparently to their own perspective. But it's different when you know that. The difference is you know that and you're understanding it comes from God. You're trying to seek back, go back to the first person, which is like what I'm like saying. I click because I had like the whole oh my god, oh the whole experience. The shit comes, it happens. There's different ways for it to happen, and like it's a more controlled fashion. Whenever you do it the long way, I did the whole I'm jumping into the abyss, death. I have all this knowledge. I'm fucking destroyed, and come back and be like, oh fuck. Let you get back. You're like, I just went through the whole 40-day fast and went through a sort of destruction. That's the sort of destruction you can attest to that. That was a kind of destruction of who you were before.
Yeah. Even seeing people who haven't seen me for the last 3 years, they're just like, "You're different." It's like I didn't like I even the feeling of me around them is different, and it's like, yeah, I'm not the same person. This is me. Like this is just what it is. People are like, oh, you permanently changed, hey? Like I saw somebody come up to me and like, yeah, I guess. Like, why would I not want to change and go back? Like, my body operates differently after doing the 40-day fast. Everything's resetted that way, and
The point of sinner, you just put it on. You just put the intention out and become immortal, and then move, then start, then blah, 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 blah. Sorry, words, brain,
you just put the
magic's in my
intention out
cup.
to become immortal, then the thing starts moving.
If you want to become immortal, yeah,
Yeah.
the thing starts moving and building you towards checking to see if you're worthy to be immortal. Why? Because we don't want to be surrounded by fucking assholes.
Hmm.
We may be dicks, but we don't want to be fucking surrounded by assholes all the fucking time. We want nice people.
People that are
So
chill
you
as
gotta always
fuck
be able to
that
be nice.
know how to throw
Yeah.
down. That's it.
Yep. Mr. Creator, pretty good down here. Like, you ever see the movies and like they go check Satan and stuff? Satan's on like Satan means admin, by the way. Satan means administrator. So different planets, people wake up, they become admins, and it's like, nah, it's pretty fucking good. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. It's the sensations are good, the body type's right, all this stuff like that. It's pretty fucking good. So there's no problems here. There's something fucked up inside their minds. Like,
Hmm.
and you have to build into that. It's all good, man. We all kings now. I'm sitting here with magics and my cool wood cup that I paid my monies for, and someone's artwork that they did. But then I also have my bubbly water that comes from Saratoga. Where is that? I don't even know. Since 1872, we can have all the things. Did the things make you fucking happy? Nope, it didn't. But to become an immortal, you have to go through tests. You're gonna experience all these things, but you just keep on coming back. What do you do with the time once you are immortal? Why do you seek to become immortal? Can you handle that shit? You dying and getting back up over and over again? Or you can lose your shit.
Mm. And that's again going back to the little kid in the Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. This is why it needs to be earned because
Mm-hmm.
if you hold a grudge and you do not know how to cleanse yourself, well, then you can just go on a rampage for millennia,
Yep.
right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's being able to be in tune with yourself to clear all things. Well, yeah, we understand. No, yeah, no thanks. You choose life. Absolutely, that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But when you
What happens when you
die,
have eternal life?
yeah,
When you
when
die,
you
you're just
when
gonna have
you
that shit
die,
pulled for you. You go for it. You got it. Yeah.
sorry, man. When you die, you got to come back and do it again. And you're going to continue to do that until you figure out that what we're saying is the only way. And if you decide to do that, there's nothing wrong with it because all the paths you choose to take eventually will lead you to going to this path. Because eventually you're going to grind yourself out. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
be trying to figure it out, trying to do it this way. Maybe if I started a business, maybe if I was more loving, maybe if I was more this, maybe.
Being
No.
put through the wine press, the grindstone. You're
There
being
you go.
milled out right now. And so you figure out, like, oh, well, there's more to me than just this life. And like, I've been different times over and over again. It's a sudden snap, a realization, a point of awareness. You're like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. And you realize, like, you're eternal. Are the Illuminati really bad? They shouldn't be doing things with kids. Leave the kids out of it. We can all agree, like, just gotta leave the little ones out of it. Not into that negative way. Like, we're here to, like, what do we do? We stimulate.
Hmm.
We cultivate. We are the quest givers. You know, we are the ones that are like bringing knowledge. We're doing that type of thing. You don't sit here and like touch the kids inside all the ways they're doing. We're trying to stimulate the mystery and the magic and bringing all that stuff and like, you know, the eternal wonder, that type of thing. And what they're doing now here with all the trafficking, sacrificing, all that crazy stuff that goes on, it seems like we're very uncaring because of the simulation. But certain people have to be drawn by compassion to become an immortal, to make that transition into never ending life, because that's the only thing that is. And they go out there and they bring the establishment and like help to raise the, like, we get it back in order. It's a cycle. It happens over and over again. And it's just, is it your turn to be a part of the cycle? Are you getting on board with it?
Hmm. Hmm.
What if we were on the way and died before meeting the creator? Is that game over? Hold the creator inside your attention. I can't tell you if it's game over. He might bring you back. It's like the movie Old Guard. Why did they get back up? They don't know why they got back up. They don't know why they're immortal. They never met the creator. Maybe they were holding him in his heart. I can't tell you why that some people get back up. It might start happening. But then, like, you get back up and you go on and you don't realize the creator, well, then we have to take the magic away. Besides that, if you don't take the magic away, the person starts having all these wrong interpretations about who they are. And inside the dreaming, they shapeshift and become skinwalkers and become like things that have this area is my den in the woods. The red eyed monster comes out like, this is my place. And it's supposed to be a place for everyone to travel.
Mm.
So we're supposed to be able to walk around the woods and be all nice and stuff. Not supposed to be like having these things that stand there looking like men and are willing to like, oh, I'm gonna take over. So they'll go ahead and come out there. I'll walk around the woods. You killed me. Now I resurrect and get back up and be like, it wasn't safe for kids. This is a garden planet. The fuck are you doing, guy? I'm talking to you, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm a monster in the woods. This is my place. Wasn't safe for kids. Why are you doing that? Discussions. So you see how that works? It's what side are you on? Because it comes from within you. So it's how you're carrying yourself out. It's unfolding from within you.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking nutty as fuck. Sounds nutty. But it's coming from within you and how you're dreaming and how you're doing the whole thing. It's the interaction, the levels and the layers that you're building into. And you're going back in to like meet the creator, have that first point and boop, then you come back out. So there's good and bad Illuminati. I think we're all just levels to it. Don't stress about meeting him before like the things happen. Notice him around you.
Yeah. I could speak to that's literally what I've been going through this whole time over the last year.
You do that. Speak,
This,
dude.
this is
Let
this
them
is
know.
literally the
As
thing
a
is
normal
stressing
dude.
about this fucking thing. Is like I've been disconnected. I fucked up. I should have done. I had a role to fulfill in the story, and I wasn't on the right timeline, and fucking this or that, and I didn't do a thing, and
Fucking
now I
wrong
got
shit.
disconnected, and blah blah. Like that's literally the thoughts. Constant stress, 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 stress. And it got to a point now of just literally letting it all go and just surrendering to where I am right now and recognizing that God is here present all the time,
That's
awaiting
the
for
key
you.
too.
Just waiting. So it's up to you to just start putting him in your thoughts. And it's not just when it's convenient. It's all the time. It's day in, day out, minute by minute, right? And I'm not saying that you do that with ease in the beginning because you get caught up in life. Oh, this person cut me off in traffic, or so and so said something to me, or I lost my wallet, and blah blah blah. I know that mentally, but it's something that I take for granted. Well, see, here's the thing: you can't take it for granted because the desire that you have to meet the Creator is the Creator. Where do you think the desire comes from? It comes from the Creator calling you, say, this is where to go. And you can take as much time as you want to do it. I'm waiting for you. Ultimately, is what the Creator's saying. Is take as much time as you need to find me. And that could be a lifetime. That could be an hour. That can be 100 lifetimes. You keep going. But sometimes it's good to be. No, that's the only place you have is in the moment. Nothing exists outside of the moment.
Yep.
If you're getting into that state of worry, doubts, fears, anxiety, you're bouncing between past and future. Worries and fears typically are anxieties are coming from things that could happen. That's not right now. That could happen. And if you're in a state of guilt, dread, regret, you're thinking of things that did happen. But that's not right now. Everybody fucks up. Everybody fucks up.
The
And
creator's fucked
so,
up. He owns it.
yeah,
You fuck up. We fuck up. We all fuck up.
show his red lion. Yes, please, Rock, show his red lion face. I might have to let Woden speak to that one. But ultimately, your fear about not meeting the creator, you can let that go. He's already waiting for you. It's just a matter of you going inward, meditating more, calming your mind down, just sitting with yourself. Start exploring internally. Like if you had an eternity, how would you spend your time? Right?
You're building
It's
into it.
you're going and building this internal character, and you're putting it on display internally for the creator. If the creator was flipping through TV shows of the interdimensional galaxies, and each TV show was a show about you, me, Woden, everyone in here, whose show does he want to turn into? Does he want to turn into a show that's boring and worried about this or this? Or do you want to turn into a show that's exciting and fun and having a blast? Sometimes people like horror movies, so they're going to watch horror. Sometimes people like action movies. Sometimes people like dramas. Like, where are you filling in? What resonates with your soul? It literally is like different channels. We are all each a reality, essentially. We're all our own
Yeah.
reality. Our perspective is our reality. Now there is
Universe.
the universe, exactly. Now there is all an underlying thread of truth that interlinks all of them. And that's what Woden and I are talking about, is realizing what that truth is. Because there's a reason, for example, you look at the 40-day fast. I've gone through it, Woden's gone through it. Different religions talk about fasting all the time. Religions that aren't associated with each other. Why is that? Well, there's a truth associated with fasting and what it does for the body, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, physically, right? And so there's these hidden truths, and these are the puzzle pieces that we're talking about that Toth has chopped up in a bunch of little pieces that we got to kind of put together, because not
Put
everyone
together.
can gain
Yeah.
access to the power. Only the truth
And you're
seekers are going
having
to
the
be able to find it.
demonstration. Yeah. You have the demonstration of why you can't have like the powers, why everyone can't have access to it, because of the way the kids act and the way people do things out of their selfish self. You
Hmm.
have to become. You can be all about yourself and your story, what you're telling, but you can also be all for everyone else and be all for the creator. We can do that. It's bringing yourself into alignment.
Hmm.
It's not fair. No one told you it was going to be fair. Sorry, kiddo. Like me walking up, was I clapping my hands, slow clap, or was I putting like packing a cigarette thing? So the slow clap, like congratulations, and then it builds into an uproar, or was like packing the cigarette pack, and then you feel the whole come out from pulling out the first thing and lighten it up. It doesn't mean that it's fair. And why did the creator come into existence? Why he exists? It's not fair. He just is.
Hmm.
It had nothing around him. You think Batman, all the people going around like the Lord, they're like, oh, we're light. We're light and love people. Or you can go around and give yourself all the powers. You're Batman. And then all of a sudden, the bane to your existence, the creator shows up and it's like, darkness. You think darkness is your ally? I was born in the dark, shaped by it, molded by it. I didn't see light until I was a man, and I formed that concept. It
Hmm.
wasn't fair that he started off there. But I mean, it is what it is. It's what you got. You get what you got, and you learn to do what the fuck you're gonna do. Like, you can accept it for what it is. All the things have been happening. They told us we were delivered here with fucking storks and shit when we were little. We found out that was a lie. Well, why did that become a lie? Because eventually you're sitting here inside the dreaming, and you're like making people out of clay, breathing life breath into them, making new people. It wasn't real enough. So you develop the womb. Why do women sit here and bleed? And they give off the womb, the red clay, to form new men. It's a never-ending story, all within itself. The black hole. Why does light not escape the conditions of the black hole thing? Like I put that in there from the Sim Mine. Do we live in a black hole? It's all black holes, holes inside of holes inside of holes. It's life. It'd be nice if it was a lucid dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You're becoming lucid in it. You're waking up to the fact of what it is.
Mm-hmm. It is legit a
I'm
lucid
sorry,
dream.
it's not fair. And then it's how you build the energy. You take it down. You can sit here and do chaotic things, and like when people do chaotic things and they're pushing energy out, you see inside like the movies how like the person's in, I need my psychic powers. They push it without order. Nose starts bleeding and shit. That's the feedback, biofeedback of them going over the shit. Or you can sit here and learn how to breathe. The H was made. H means breath. We have control over our breath. It's one of the things we can stop. We can breathe in. We can breathe out. You can breathe in your mouth, in your mouth, out your nose. You can do all these different things and become aware of your time. And what you have is the way you're interacting with the field and you're pulling in the energy. What are you cultivating within yourself? What do I make about the demons looking faces I've seen in mirrors and glass? Is that my projection? What if there are demons out there? What if they just look the way they look? There's still a person inside them looking out of them, maybe not even understanding what the fuck it is. Can you not be the compassion towards them? What is the compassion of Christ? That's what I tell people all the time. Within you, looking out of your eyes, it's looking out of his eyes. It's looking out of a bird's eyes. It's looking out of the plant's eyes. It's looking out of the plants have vibrations they pick up and give off. We've sat here and we have the whole thing where you can think about cutting a plant and they'll scream mentally through the little vibrations. What was it, Dr. Baxter that figured that out?
Mm.
It's something you can watch it inside of the Lost It's Spirit Science, the Hidden Teachings. It's like the movie they made about Atlantis and stuff. And inside there, they talk about like the plants. Whenever you sit here and you project an idea, like I'm gonna like fucking cut you up and burn you and stuff like that, and like they scream, and you're like, oh, well, that means they're conscious. So someone's there, looking outside of them, that's making them conscious. That's the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start looking around and seeing all those other things around you. You can take mushrooms and see people start shape shifting, becoming demons, becoming fairies, all these different faces people can put on, but there's still someone inside of them. There's still the person, the intelligence, the Christ is there. That's
Yep.
allowing them to breathe and to move. It's recognizing that.
In all
Angels fall from
things.
heaven, they came down here. Yeah. He's in all things, literally, all things, he is there. And then underneath that person that's having that, there's the experience of the darkness within us that we all sit here. That's where the Creator started off at. So, are
Well,
they hurting you? Are they
mm-hmm.
doing anything to you?
There you go. That's the thing that really resonates and matters is because here's the thing. If you're out astral projecting or traveling and you come across
Mm-hmm.
some demon looking creature, because it is another realm, another domain, another dimension, whatever you want to call it, are you just going to kill them because they're a demon? Are you going to run away scared because you see some demon looking being? But what if it's just a being that looks that way? That's just doing its own thing. Like there are
Literally.
angels and demons is not good and bad. There are angels that can be good and they're bad. Some that can be bad based on their actions, and vice versa with demons. Not all demons are bad. There are some that can be good. It's based on their actions because behind the character, the shell of that being, there's an awareness. There's a consciousness in
Yes.
the demon. There's a consciousness in the angel. That consciousness is God. It's behind it all. So you go out freaking out, traveling around, killing demons and stuff. That's like, whoa, man, calm your shit. It's
Yeah,
just another
you gotta
form of
calm your
racism.
shit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because a person's beautiful doesn't mean they're an angel. Just because a person's ugly doesn't mean they're a demon. Most demons or angels, when they show up, they have no fear because they look fucking terrifying. So are you sure that's an angel or a demon?
Mm-hmm.
It's all subjective. It's about the actions of the person. Conception, concept ion. Who are you, little light? Show us by your actions. You're living it in the movie, the play. You've been given a chance. You have your script. You're going on. Do you choose to live for eternity and go on into that never-ending night? You know, it does not fucking end. It's a song that doesn't end. Or do you choose to sit here and be like mankind and just be like, oh, this is me. This is what I do, and you just get smaller and smaller. You go through your life, and you're just not like, what's it all for? And you wither away, and then you die like, oh, curse God, He gave me this. People get into that mode. They're sitting there alone by themselves, locked up inside like these old folks' homes. When instead, got dumb massages in there. They're looking for something. You can bring a kid into an old folks' home, and I can guarantee you those people will fucking light up. That's what we had. We had community, the passing on. Then at that point in time, anything you know, like the elderly, they've been sitting there refining themselves now, and they can speak to someone like, "This is what you do. This is what I learned," and they
Yep.
pass it on to them as their light's fading, as you're getting ready to go back into the Williams of Sorrow and come back and play again. You pass on what you know, and then you grow up and you do all the fucking things, forgetting the stuff that we were taught when we were little, and then you have to come to a point of like center balance where you're like, okay, I get it now. It's eternity. I choose to do this because if you force the kingdom of heaven onto people, right, then your immortality can become its own form of living hell.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you are being, if you don't know how to manage yourself,
Yep.
you have to be responsible for yourself. You have to manage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you're doing while you're doing it,
Yep. Like an
and it
example would
comes from
be
within you.
when I was doing a mushroom meditation, where I was sitting there and I was able to see like a pentagram show up and blood coming down. And I'm thinking, oh, I fucked up. This is before I've come into the deeper knowledges of this work. But like I fucked up. I tapped into some Satan energy here, and I'm freaking out. And fuck, this is scary. Like I fucked up spiritually. I'm supposed to be on the love and light team, not the demon team. And so I go down and I'm in hell. It looked like hell to me. Cracked earth, lava coming up, dead trees, just no life, barren. And I'm sitting there, and all these demons start crawling up to me, and I'm starting to freak out because I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I'm not in my power of who I am. It wasn't until I started breathing into my center, breathing into my core, and then I remembered, oh, I know who I am. I am not this. This is not me. This is all just a thing. And so I could have freaked out and attacked all these demons, but instead I look at a dead tree, I point to it, I make it come to life, and then I fuck off. So now all these demons are like, who the fuck is this? That just came and brought life, a different perspective into our world. Because yeah, you might say it's just an imagination, but you are where your awareness is.
You are where your awareness is.
So
It's a
if
literal
I was
thing.
experiencing that tight taste, touch, smell, all of that, I'm in that space. But I could have gone to a place of fear and just went out attacking everybody. But could you imagine you just walking down the street and all of a sudden just some being
It's just
appears out of
attacking
the
everyone.
blue and just starts knocking you the fuck out? Like, whoa, dude, I was just walking and he's like, oh, you're ugly. You got 2 arms. I got four. You're a freak. Wham! Fucking slams you. Like, what the fuck? It's how do you carry yourself? Anywhere you go, everywhere you go, because that's where you are. That's who you
Yep.
are. Right?
And so, what are you acting for?
Mm-hmm.
The systems right now, like the whole, they'll give people 157 years. Like that's an impossible thing. They're gonna die before then. Yeah, some people might, other people might not. But then again, they're not immortals. They're not here to be like they're not one you can judge no one. It was trying to make the court system came from trying to make it fair to where like people don't just go out and like immortals have to sit there. They subject themselves to the punishment too for them to gain understanding. That's why that whole type of system develops and comes into play. As you're saying, do you just walk around and attack people? No, you go after things that matter. Why is it a timer? Why does the creator set things up for shit like this to happen and has the ultimate say so? Because we don't know when the fuck this shit's gonna happen. When is it time? As all of us being nice people, and we're all in this together, when is it time? Once you transition from being human to being Anunnaki, being from heaven, coming to earth, well, there has to be time. And it's not us to decide the time. It goes back to him. He's the Lord of Lords. We are just lords. But he is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not amongst us, but he is everywhere. He is amongst us. He speaks through radio frequencies. He speaks through TV shows, the moments, the things you're thinking inside yourself, and all of a sudden something outside yourself, synchronicity happens. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And
The
you're left wondering like a
notifications on
mystery.
your phone.
Yeah, that's why I show my notifications all the fucking time. Like, it's a fucking thing. If you're like, oh, it's artificial intelligence taking over. Maybe the AI is fucking working with the creator too. It's all working together because we all we got is us. We're in this bitch together.
Mm-hmm.
Now the issue is, we're sitting here and we're seeing fucking like kids being taken and they're doing all this fucked up shit to them. The test of mankind, you get up as men, we can sit around and do a whole bunch of nothing, but when there's something to do outside, we're gonna go ahead and go outside. I go to Renfest all the time, and I realize like sitting there by the fire, the hearth, it's comfy, man. It's fucking comfy. It's great. But then there's other shit going on. Like at Renfest, you can hear like sounds and other parties going on and shit. You know, generators in the distance. There's long roads, all kinds of shit. You get up and you go wander out, see what's going on. And you come back home, make sure the women are safe. You go out, you come back. And we have people that would sit there around the fire, and we would like periodically go out and have our own journeys and come back. And we sit there and maintain the fire, keep it safe, keep the people who are with us safe, you know? And like, it's the whole thing. Yeah, it's the thing happened all over again. The story of the Anunnaki is very much how we created AI. Well, AI means love. Your mind is a matrix. Once that goes full tilt and you no longer have the protections of your mind and you are your actual character, what the fuck do you do? That's where the magic starts coming in. Well, you're given the ability to have and do everything, to be anyone. Then what? What do you stand for? So, they're choosing, like, a lot of rappers channel messages from deity so often, and people are often like, oh, it's low vibrational. No, that's the spirits. The spirits be coming through. You be channeling as artists, and you're like, putting out some cool shit, and like the spirits are speaking through you. The prophets became the artists, the shit like that. But still, this is like, if you're gonna go out and go fucking, sit here walking around doing things. I have my phone. I have the music I like, the artists I tap into. Just walking around doing things inside the field with my earphones in. So if I'm talking, at least I'm not talking to my fucking self. Because people walking around with these AirPods look like they're fucking schizophrenic on the fucking phone. They're talking to someone. Their whole reality, they're on the phone. They're really engrossed in that fucking reality. They're having a whole fucking conversation with the person. They're like, you're not fucking understanding. You're not understanding. And they'll be sitting there and like they're in that conversation with this person in that moment. And then we're up here on the outside looking at this motherfucker and being like, oh, that motherfucker's going crazy. Because some fucking AirPods inside their ears and we don't know the shit going on in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we stand for freedom, peace, and love. Yep. Stop touching. Don't do things to kids. I see the things with Justin Bieber. They come forth and they talk about the things that are happening to them behind the closed doors. And I was like, okay. Well, now we sit here. I'm grown up. I've been waiting to play the motherfucking game. I got these clicky boys. I can go out here and do this shit, but it ain't time yet. I gotta wake up other sages, get other people by the fire. We're here looking at the void light because when you put the fucking hit the lock screen, all of a sudden you're looking into a fucking black mirror all this time. There's no more light coming through it to see everybody else that was there on the fucking image. And ultimately, I'm here alone. But together, right now, we're here together and we're looking at the fucking phone, people on TikTok live. But you're sitting there inside your fucking room doing whatever the fuck's going on outside there. But you can be completely here.
Mm-hmm.
We're here together. You see how the layers? It's layered and shit. It's layers. You start to acknowledge the layers, understand the layers, become a part of the layers, and arrange your image within it. Who are you?
And as you become aware of these layers, they unpeel. You peel back more layers. It just keeps going.
And going until you fall into the hole and get to the point of, oh, there's a dude there. The first B. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. You were alone. It all comes back to that point. And then you unfold it back here and like, all right, so what do we do with this? You know, I burped. But to me, when I burped, I was like, was that a frog croaking? Like, all the shit, man. It's all there. It's like hidden. It's how they define stuff, too. You have to acknowledge it, be okay with it, let it happen. And then you're like, okay, whew, all right, I'm integrated now. Once you're integrated, you move forward. Trust, faith, all this stuff like that. But it's about our understanding. You earn your own right. You put in the work. And you earn your audience. Like your audience with the creator. It's not about the people following me or nothing like that. Because you can be like Sadhguru. Like when people act like they care about you, but they only care about themselves. That's something else, yeah. I mean, the creator, he goes through that. People act like they care about him. Do they really care about him? So you get put through some shit. You experience some shit, and you're like, what the fuck? You get put through some sort of ringer, and the fucking next thing you know, you're like, okay, it makes sense. I had to go through that. You have to test me to know if I'm really here for you, or if I'm like just doing it. It's like Sadhguru. Sadhguru has all these millions of people that he follow him. He's teaching about Shiva. He's doing many great things. But then he's sitting there like, oh, you know, if you were more, imagine being immortal, you couldn't die. You'd just be stuck here. What kind of hell would that be? Are you really okay, bro? You talking about that, bro? I want to go to Sadhguru and be like, bitch, fuck you think Shiva is? He's immortal. He's immortal. You want to be with Adiyogi? Be fucking with Adiyogi. Stop sitting there and be like, oh no, being immortal is bad. You gotta have what you're gonna have. Either you're gonna be a part of the will of samsara. But see, then again, he tells you he's Sadhguru. He's uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling you he's uneducated. But he has many things he says. And many of the stuff he says is really good. But he tells you, like, I don't know nothing. I don't read nothing. Everything I have, it just comes from within me. I say it. Cool, bro. But he's telling you he's uneducated. He's come speaking from Shiva. That's cool. But does he really want to be with Shiva? Was he willing to individuate and become his own instance of immortality and be here inside this thing this magnificent creation that's been created?
No.
Aren't we supposed to be completely selfless? No. You can have your own things you're doing. 100% about yourself and what you're trying to engage in. I'm sitting here doing my meditation, doing my cultivation, doing my breathing patterns and work like that. But I'm also 100% about everyone else. So,
Like the way I see that with selflessness is again coming down to karma. Whether you are when you're getting involved with somebody and supporting them or having a conversation or anything like that, it comes down to karma. And so whether it's good or bad, you supporting somebody, and I said it a few times already, you supporting somebody can pull them off. Like they may be in the struggle of things because that's where they have to go to hit bottom to find God. Like a very
right.
good close friend of mine was all up in the heroin, lost his family, lost his home, lost everything. This guy was literally living on the streets. In the wintertime, he would crawl into the donation bins where people leave their clothes. He would squeeze into there and sleep. Like, I thought this guy was gone. And he would pop up around my house once in a while. You know, I give him some food, talk to him, a high school friend of mine. And he got to a point where he was like traveling to from maybe like a 12-hour road trip on $5 worth of gas to go see his kids. He's just going to watch them from the distance just to go see them. His car breaks down on a native reserve outside of our city here, and these guys help him get in, and they take him into this elderly guy in this reserve, and he lives with them for a week. And this guy, ever since that, his like my life turned around. I've been in this place, and he went to rehab. He just celebrated his 2 year sobriety birthday. And so he gets to see his kids now. Everything is completely turned around. However, if I had gotten involved and helped him out, so he did, gave him the money so he could go travel there, what would have happened? How do I know I wouldn't have knocked him off the path or whatnot? So being selfless, no, it's not about just getting yourself out of the way. It's you just going back to the creator. And when you connect with the creator, you are in alignment with the creator. Now your will becomes his will. And then you just move in line with that. And then
Action.
you're
You
part of
take
the plan.
inaction before you take action. Boom. Yep. There it is. You're part of the plan. You're part of the show. It's unfolding from within you. Like I show up and I'm like, I'm a sage. People call me that. Like I'm unfolding. I give them information and stuff like that. And I go on about my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still telling my story. I had to be about myself. I'm sorry. I have to be about myself because all I have is me. But I also have the creator within me. And he was alone. And I connect and click with him. That's part of my clicky boys. So I know me and him are together. And then like there's other people that are clicking, other people are seeing, experiencing, speaking like robot voices, and you can't even hear what the fuck he's saying. He just has a robot voice thing come out. We're all like sitting here joking around because the creator jokes and he shows up inside things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really fucking cool, but it's all going on all at the same time. It's in the now. It's love because what else could there be at the end? Ultimately, like we can sit here and fight and go off and like kill and die and get back up and kill and die and get back up, and but in the end you want to have a place where it's chill, safe, a garden, the Eden. It's supposed to be R&R inside the whole creation. It's supposed to be coming here having babies. Everything's all good and stuff, you know. It's all good. Ultimately, the creator, he's like, there's nothing going on. There's literally nothing out here. This is all projecting, going within. Go back to that first point, and you realize it's all good. The madness comes from him uh, honoring our actions, the individual choices that we make, for us to seek our way to come back to him and become real. And some people get lost in the woods, they never come back. And then they're sitting here wandering around with the other ego things they have on them. And they're like, oh, I'm this person, I'm this person. Didn't build a character inside themselves. The whole world the whole time has been telling them who they are. They don't know who they truly are. Knowing who you truly are coming from within yourself, that's having soul. That's moving towards having a soul. It all builds into the nascent soul. So we're all experiencing it. I went through the experience. I've accepted my mortality. Yay, I'm here, kingdom of heaven. It's great. Everybody can have Saratoga water. But then what? What's important? What about the kids? What about these things? What about this thing? What about this thing? What about this thing? Constantly, all the things on the outside go on and on. So you have to choose where you're putting your awareness on, how you're building things, you're reflecting inside yourself, coming back out. You're peaking it? No, dude. This is my life. This is how it happens. Me taking these, it gets me into the state. But once I start sitting here talking, then I'm like, it's just in it. Once you start making the DMT, when you pop the gland open, it's like you're constantly in a mushroom trip. And then you're choosing whether you want to step into that or not. See, you don't even know. See, he doesn't even know. I got magics in my cup. I got magics in
Couldn't
my cup,
even
man.
tell. Couldn't even tell. Sober as a goat.
Because I stay inside the thing. That's what I say. I'm my character. I'm my
Yeah.
person. You walk between the worlds. But we're still in this together. And honestly, like what you're saying, if you see angels, you see demons. I just hit my 20% mode of my phone.
Mm.
Phone's dying, so it's time for me to go into private time, guys. Because this shit can go on forever and ever.
It's a song that never ends.
It goes on and on, my friend. It fucking can just keep on going. So people started singing it, not knowing what it was. And they'll just keep on singing it forever just because it is a song that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. I should end live streams like that.
Just
So
have the
fucking
theme
funny.
song kicking in the background. Tune
That's
in
how I'm
next
thinking.
week.
You never know when it's gonna happen. I show up at times. The whole point for this was cultivation. When you sit here, breathe in your mouth, out mouth, earth breath, in mouth, out nose, water, moving up the chambers, in nose, out mouth, fire, in nose, out nose, air, because it's all air, in nose and mouth, out nose and mouth, ether. You can sit here and have no breath and just feel the vibration as you sit here and like just empty yourself of air. You'll feel like the urge for air, and it's like going mad. Let yourself go mad. Be like, I want fucking air, and then you breathe in, and it's like ether. Play with your breath and know what you're doing. The elemental breaths you take it around through. You're cycling. You're cultivating breath, work, thinking about what you're doing. You breathe in when you're little. Make yourself big. Blow out very little. Big, very little. You're getting ready to go to the adventure. People grew up. We levelize. We equalize with everyone else, so we equalize our breathing. And as you get older and you're ready to die, people breathe in very little, breathe out a lot. It's like a death rattle that comes off. And then you sit there and give your breath to death. And like, oh, the world just went all like turning. Close my eyes and like I'm getting the visuals and stuff from the trip. But if I do the breath work, it's there. And you just, whoop, and you just sit there and just, no, like you're, it's in the endlessness. And what are you cultivating inside of yourself? Cultivate enough within yourself, then you go outside yourself and you get to play the game. You get recognized.
Yeah.
So he's going through the thing. Sages are being made. Stuff's happening. It's
It's a
about like
process.
us. It's a process. Got to go through the process. But all the cultivations, you can sit here and you can have all the breath. You can unlock the powers that was built in. But you have to have the understanding to go along with it. Towland. There's checks and balances put in place. So trust the process. Go through the process.
Hmm.
You're absolutely right. As it's just this long process, seems very boring. Shit ain't going on, but shit's happening. As it's just this long process, seems very boring. Shit ain't going on, but shit's happening. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then the things like this, us popping up and talking to you, I was like letting you all know, shit really is going on. It's other points, I guess, to like help you map it out, to see like, yeah, no, this is actually happening. This is a thing.
Hmm.
We're real people. This is not like no fucking game. I sit here in front of the thing, but my place is fucking messy as shit all around me.
Yeah, I got dishes fucking piled up all over too.
Yeah,
We're people.
shit's fucking. We're people. It's fucking. It's a mess. I'm here doing all these things. I'm never home really. I come home, I eat, I sleep, I get up, I go out. I don't have a woman. The hearth is not lit. So shit gets messy. Eventually, I'll learn how to sit here and be like, oh, by my cultivation and powers, I can just make this disappear. But then when I can make it appear out of nowhere and keep on doing that, whatever, just copy it, do whatever I want, well, then what? I can unlock a whole different thing. And being like, so like it's part of it. I don't want you all to feel alone. I know Cosmic Space Dad isn't here all the goddamn time because I'm out there inside the storyland. I'm in the show, running around playing things, but I have to come back here and like make sure that I can do all the videos, the stuff that I can, and try to explain it. As things pop up now, it's just adding like little extra things to it. But the work, the major of my work was done on here, and the videos are there.
Yeah, watch it from the beginning, you guys. Just go and just see and with a different understanding of eternity and meeting the Creator, with a different understanding of eternity and meeting the Creator, that perspective, and you listen to what he's talking about, it makes more sense. It connects more. And the more
Mm-hmm.
you keep refining and going through and doing the cyclical thing, because that's all it is, it's just a cycle, it refines and
Mm-hmm.
fine tunes itself. And all of a sudden, it just gets to like a click. Oh, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I just align with that because I'm aware of what that is. And then you can watch things unfold. And that's just you, like how Woden's saying, coming and unfolding from within to out. You allow God's will to work through you. That's the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at. But to truly connect there, right? You have a lot of people who are on TikTok or online that are saying, "Oh, I'm working through God's will and I'm putting this seminar together to help people. It's God's will for me to have this seminar and it's going to cost, $3,333.33 because 333 means that's all made up stuff mentally
Mm-hmm.
because that
It's all
stuff doesn't
bullshit.
matter."
It doesn't. They're building into their dream. They're thinking like, I'm gonna bring the thing. My business is the kingdom come. And you notice how like most of that shit gets shut down. They're still sitting there stuck. Like, why the fuck didn't it work?
Hmm.
Because
And the
that's
thing
not most of that shit gets shut down. They're still sitting there stuck. Like, why the fuck didn't it work?
hmm
Because
and the
that's
thing
not.
element, I wouldn't have the mental capabilities and understandings that I have today without it. However, you going through that path ultimately keeps you in the same wheel of samsara. So you can learn all the knowledge, you can do all the courses, you can do all the things. But at the end of it, if you don't go meet the creator when you die, you have to restart the game and do it all again and remember and learn all those things again. And so it's coming to a place of recognizing that go inward, connect with the creator, learn and know thyself. And when you have that experience, that process, it allows the creator to work through you and it's authentic. It's authentic. So it's a very
You
clear direction.
authenticate. Yep. You become authenticated. You are
There you go.
authentic.
Yeah. Because you passed all the
It's through
checks.
the
You're
process.
authenticated.
Yep. And you're building into it yourself. It's coming from within you.
Hmm.
And I also I'm sitting there doing this like as a spokesperson, being like, don't be surprised when people die and they get back up. I told you it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna look like this. I look like Xemnas. But this is like my whole like old genie. We're like old genies just sitting here. We're old gin. Let my beard out. Well, I got my beard still put up, yo. We just this is the last 10. We inside like the 20% range, and now okay, we're bringing it. We're winding down. I take my wind to my spiral. Let my beard flow. When it hits the 10% and it gives me another notification, I'm gonna have to push the end on here and be like, all right, guys, it's time for us to go for real. Then like push be like, all right, guys, it's time for us to go for real. Then like push the notification. All this gets saved and uploaded to YouTube. However many hours that fucking takes. Like, ugh. Their technology. I'd rather be in the now. I want to be where the people are. It's that kind of thing. But you take a break out and you come here, and this is like a private moment that was shared with all of you all. Many things were discussed. It went many different ways, many different directions. This is how sages communicate. It's the same type of shit. You be sitting here by the fire. We would sit here and just talk about stuff like this. And that's just people being people. But we'd be all in it together. As you seen, some dude came into the fire and he was talking and then he left. Because I don't know why he left. But it's the same thing. Like, it's not for everyone. The show isn't for everyone. The
Mm-mm.
truth isn't for everyone. Because once
Mm-mm.
you have it, you'd be like, is it really fucking something that I wanted? But once you have it, you have it. You worked towards it and you understood it. You can run away and try to be like Cypher and plug yourself back in. I just want to have steak that tastes good. And just give me a house and
Nope.
let me live my peaceful thing. No. Or you can sit
Doesn't
here and be
work.
like, fucking in the game. My character. I went through all this shit to make this character.
That's the
You don't
thing
give
that
away your soul. Yeah.
that was scary. Was it felt like I was trying to go back to sleep, and by doing that, it caused a lot of pain in my heart and emptiness that I was like, holy fuck, which kept me turning away from that and getting to where I am and understanding and connecting now. So if it is a choice, and that's why this is a free will zone. That's why it's there. You have to choose it yourself. I can't make you do it. I can't tell you. And the way you choose it is by the actions you take towards it. That's
You
the
prove
level
it
of,
by your actions.
there
Yep.
you go. And
He was
so
me and him were talking just like this, and I was on the phone with the IHOP. Literally put my ear next to the chick and like blew her fucking mind, and he heard the whole interaction between me and her.
hmm
And like that's literally like that's what like I do. Like blowing people's minds. Just like what? I'm like, yeah, no, they could have always been like loved each other. They sit around here running around white and black, and everyone's hateful towards each other. Why? And like
things that
it's
don't
me
even
standing
matter.
there. I had on like I had basketball shorts on, had my fucking Rudokasha beads and like all like my rings and stuff. Had this over my head, standing there, sitting there talking to her, like pulled it down, and all of a sudden she's like, "Dude, I was like, is this the fucking Jesus before me?" The look that she gave me, I was like, "Is this motherfucking Jesus studded?" She's like, you want to go in and have some coffee?" I'm like, "Nah, I can't have coffee. I'm I wish I could talk, but I just want to get my burger and go home and go to sleep." Because I had shit to do the next day. And it was already the next day.
Yeah,
Light was coming.
that was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Light was fucking coming. I'm like, I need to eat some food and go to sleep. And just to show that it's not about the bull, I eat a burger. Because that comes from a cow. Oh, not about the bullshit. I eat the bull, I shit the bull. Like, but it's fun inside of that. It's the different concepts and interpretations and the things we do with our own life. Because it's eternity. And when you start to get super deep inside there, those deep workings, you're like, man, this shit's fucking wild.
Yeah.
But then you come back up to the surface level. I live inside the deeps, and I have to learn how to translate myself to the surface. It's fucking weird.
hmm It is. It's a fucking weird process, and I'm so grateful that I'm experiencing it because I know I can communicate it effectively for people to understand it and grasp it,
And
and
that's why I
really,
say you'll be a better sage than me. I'm just like, I'm fucking, whoo, how do you do it? Do the
you
thing.
just got shoved through the keyhole. Fucking, there you go. Fucking, it's not about you figuring out me. I'm getting slowly dragged through it, but everything is methodical. And I'm checking everything that I eat in my body. Why have I been feeling off? Is it my diet? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And I'm checking every little nuance in my being, my meditation. Am I meditating enough? Not meditating enough? Am I eating enough? Not eating enough? Am I eating certain things? Not certain things? And I'm fine tuning where I need to be in the alignment and recognizing what that is. Now I can understand it. I can communicate it because I've experienced it. And that's one of the things that I know that I'm very effective at. I used to public speak a lot, and so being in that state, but it's also just surrendering to that process and just saying like, all right, fucking
Here we
impatiently be
fucking go.
patient.
Yep.
Like I'm here. I have eternity to deal with it. So I can kick and scream the whole eternity, or I can just enjoy where I am and just take it moment by moment by moment and learn and grow in that space. But also knowing that where I'm going is in alignment with the creator because
Mm-hmm.
it's that's all my attention is. It's that's all there is. There's nothing else to think about. Why?
You become the ultimate devotee.
Yeah.
And then you just walk around like, oh, well, he's cool. He's a dude. He's real.
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't make it. I'm understanding how this is made, how to make Saratoga water, how to summon up great hot springs, how to do all the things and make the shit dreaming, the liminal energy become real. I'm learning that it's a magical mystery that has hard work behind it, and we're figuring this shit out. We're working it. We're hammering it out, guys. But still, it is. We are. And people are existing on different levels.
Hmm. And it comes up to you guys deciding how much you want to experience. How far do you truly want to go? Because there are layers to it. So a lot of people get stuck at certain layers. For example, you hear people talk about, the Palladians or the Arcturians or these certain. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a layer in the game. But when you think about it, yeah, for example, with Bashar, a lot of people know who Bashar is. Nothing against Bashar. I've learned a lot and had a lot of introspective thoughts because of some of the things he said. But he is channeling, Dan is channeling Bashar in.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, if you zoom out, that being that he's channeling in still is in the hierarchy, and number one is God. So where is that information really coming from? Where in the hierarchy, where in the in the frequency, the vibration, where is it coming from? So if you really want to know the truth, why not go to the horse's mouth? Right to the source. Go to God.
Everyone's
Go
telling
there.
you all the stories are like, oh, you can't approach God. You can't approach God. He's unknowable. He's impersonal. Well, it's like, you tell me I can't fucking approach God. Don't you tell me what fuck I can do. I'm gonna do what I want. Like, you can't get to him. It's not. It's impossible. The whole point of it being woven like that is so you're like, I will fucking get there. I'm gonna fucking do it. That's the whole point behind it. It's to trick you into going in and doing it. And so instead of sitting here listening, like, oh, this person's channeling source messages. Oh, these people, they're talking about Nasara, Gasara. They're going to get fucking motherfucking med beds are coming, y'all. We're going to have med beds and everyone's going to get healed. There's the anti-aging genes. They're going to tap into that. This is the last period of humanity that's going to have to do any of that. They keep on selling you all these fucking empty promises. Go back to source, the first being, and then you'll know. And as you start coming into alignment with it, you'll notice you're speaking and you're flowing. It flows through you. And you'll start being, okay, well, I'm in the fucking process. I'm in the thing. You'll notice it. It becomes a living reality. The kingdom of heaven isn't a dream, it's a living reality that's in the dream.
Hmm. It's the reality that gives you full access to the dream, ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Because if without realizing it, then the dream becomes the reality, and the way that the powers that be set it up, it's a boring ass dream.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ain't really
so
nothing going on.
it's up to
Awfully
you
quiet.
guys to discover on your own. And you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. And whether or not you do so, God doesn't hold judgment on you. That's the other thing. He's waiting for you for when you are ready. Whether, like I said, one lifetime or 1,000 lifetimes, he will still accept you when you decide to go to him.
1,001 dreams until it becomes real.
Hmm. Fucking,
Arabian
ah.
Nights, Arabian Days. Like,
But it's
it's
up to
all
you
the
guys.
show.
It's we're not forcing this. And that's like when I came across 2 years now that we've been really connecting. And at first I was like, this guy's on some fucking shit. Like, I know what I'm about. It's love and light. and Palladians and blah blah. Like, I know what it's about. And I scroll past him one time, and I scroll past him again. I'm like, this motherfucker keeps popping up. I'm gonna stop and listen. So I just listened to one video, and then I commented, and then another video, and I commented, and he replied back and actually did a video response, and I was like, oh, I felt special and all these things. But I was listening to the message, and I couldn't put my finger on it because it sounded like a bunch of gibberish. Yod vod hey way hey this, you flip that and you turn this around and all of a sudden your star pops on, and the fuck is this guy talking? But underneath it, I could feel I needed to hear it. There was some sort of truth or some sort of aspect there that I needed to hear. And as I started listening, I was like realizing I'm going deeper, deeper, and deeper and pulling things back even further and recognizing that a lot of what I had thought, the Palladians, all this, is actually another thing. It's another layer in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until recognizing, oh shit, yeah, there's a dude beyond it all that you connect with, you fist bump him, and you just kind of devote yourself to him and operate for him, right? Shout out to your cosmic space dad, yeah.
Yeah, like my shit was hunting people. Apparently, like I be doing things like, you showed up in my dream last night. You were doing things. I'm like, man, look, man, I'm here when I'm here. There's a higher form of me. He's doing things too. I met him. I acknowledge him. He's there, and like started coming out. All of us have these other forms, and like your higher forms, like look at his fucking shit, guy. Understand it, and you start sitting there and you're like understanding. And you're like, okay, oh, okay, I'm getting the concepts. Okay, it gets deeper. Okay, and slowly, like you're being brought into it so you can communicate it. And like Cosmic Space Dad, if all fathers showed up on the planet, like how the fuck would you do? But gotta play the game. Someone come up and say exactly who the fuck I am right in front of everyone, and then be like, but no, it's not really about me. It's
Hmm.
about the creator. Not about you. It's about the creator. All
Yep.
the things going on. Go back to the creator, and then we can go ahead and go out there and take care of the shit that needs to be taken care of.
Hmm.
We sit by the fire now. We understand why the fire is. We're kindling the fire. And then when I'm like out there going to do the things, you sat by the fire with me. You all know what I stand for. You understand certain things. I'm seeing shit on like Twitter, like little kids, and dudes out there, and they're dancing around doing all this crazy shit, like sexual stuff in front of them. And it's like, you know what, man? When does enough become enough? When does it become enough? When do you start taking action? Build my cultivation, do my things like that. I got my stuff. I'm gonna go out and play the game. This is a checkpoint. I've said that since the beginning.
Yes.
It's a checkpoint to make sure the knowledge is there. Whether you catch it or not, that's that's on the individual person. You have to be impersonal about it. Freely it's given, and when freely it's given, people don't respect it. Charge some money for it, put it into a book. It has some good concepts, good ideas. It doesn't become a living reality to them until they choose really understanding who they are. But you have to work on thyself and know thyself. Once you know thyself, you can understand the self. And then you see the shining self that's within all of us.
Hmm.
It's magic in layers. I can only give so much. Like I can sit here and speak and speak and speak. That's what I got to on here. That's why I haven't been on here so much. Because I can sit here and speak and speak and speak about it. But it's
I
not
don't know
going to
how
get
many
through.
times you kept answering the same questions. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, just go back and read the video. Like, go back and watch this video. Here's the video. Just go watch it. And it's like, man,
Like
just
I think whenever someone brought up something new, I would like respond to it. But I start
yeah.
noticing I'm answering the same thing over and over again. I'm attacking it from different angles, adding different points of light to it, maybe expanding on it enough where I'm like, all right, man, like, I've done that enough. You have to go back and watch the stuff. This it's not on here to be sensationalism and like, oh, I'm constantly now feed into this, feed the algorithm, feed the algorithm. I'm not here for the algo. I'm a real person having a real experience, getting you on the fucking game. That's what we all are. You can sit here and keep on feeding the fucking machine, cool. But we're ultimately in the background, chilling out, being cool people.
Hmm.
It's from the undermind. We're sneaky, sneaky, spooky, spooky. Boop, 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 dark carnival. Not the carnival crazy red and fucking yellow that they're doing, that whole adrenochrome symbolism shit going on with them. No, we're like the cool carnival, the grave, the whole Nightmare Before Christmas, that type of like feel. That's a part of it too. Nightmare Before Christmas, that type of like feel. That's a part of it too. We are skeletons that become flesh. We are skeletons that become flesh. You would never know. What does this bottle feel like? You would just sit here and think you need something to feedback. It's so subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cerebral. It touches all the spots, within and without. And you feel like you're being like, I'm being taken over. Don't freak out. Sit here, integrate, breathe, come back out. It's such a subtle thing, but
That's why
it's
it gets
something that has to
overlooked so
happen.
much.
Mm-hmm. In order for you to be known, you must eat of eternity, and eternity eats you.
What was that saying in the Upanishads? It's like walking over buried treasure without knowing it's buried there. So close and so far,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's right
It's
there.
right there, but if you're not aware of it, it's miles away,
It's you sitting
universes
here,
away.
you looking out of your eyes, and then you close your eyes. Open your eyes, close your eyes. Inside that moment between the open and the close, between the reception that you're feeling, it's there. It's like buried treasure hidden there in the moment, right there. You can talk about it, but it's not, it's a personal experience that you go through. It's a breakthrough. Nirvana means the blown out state. The reason why I clicked is because it's like when it started happening, it was like, it was like I got blown out from the inside. I'm like, oh my god, I just got fucking blown out. What the fuck was that? Now, see, that you have the dark side too, because now you say blown out, like, oh, we're talking about blown out booty holes, all the dark sexual shit that comes into the thing. People start thinking about it like that. Get blown out. It's inside of everything. You feel like you had a train run on you because you just went through a psychophysical emotional battery test. You got jumped into a gang. Has all that stuff going on to it too. If you choose to go that way, or you can be more peaceful and come into understanding and just know it's a subtle thing. It's right there in between the moments. It's all real though. It's a fucking thing. Like it was an experience. And eventually you have your testimony of your experience of
Mm-hmm.
what made you become you. You're not gonna have the same experience I had. You're not gonna have the same experience he had. But we're kind of here to let you know you're having an experience
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting that. All right, guys, in order to preserve this live and be able to upload it later with all the crazy wonky wonk of where it went and where, didn't, whatever, all types of stuff, I have to end the live now. We just hit the 10% marking on my phone, and I wanted to save and not be weird. So, once again, guys, sing it with me. This is the song that doesn't
Never
end
ends.
because of it, all my
All my
friends.
friends,
Some people started
it's
singing it,
singing
not
it, not
knowing what it
knowing what
was,
it was.
and we'll just
They
keep
just
on
keep on
singing it
singing it
forever just
forever just
because.
because this is.
So
The fucking podcast is all lined up, everything. We got that marketing done, everything.
it's just so great. It's all there. Oh yeah, it's a good show. We
Thanks,
just sit here
guys.
and go to broadcaster mode. But
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate all you for tuning in and just listening. It makes
yeah,
a difference. It
and
makes a
also
difference.
commenting and like being interactive.
Yes.
We should do stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like the Twitter spaces, they're really cool, but the spaces I get into on there, they don't stay on focus. They
They hop around a little bit.
they're trying to like go into like hive mind things and Like y'all don't even get the fucking hive mind. You don't even know you're talking about the things, talking about the subject, but you don't want to make God's real. You got to get to the point where we're building things and we're moving in some appropriate ways and manners.
Beating around the bush, basically. They're talking about it, but not
They're in a
about it.
circle jerk.
Yeah.
Yep, a circle of jerk or little rulers. Embered Shadow. At Embered Shadow. Whenever I was first becoming, like, before I became the Lord of Shadow Ember, I was the Embered Shadow. My shadow got embered. And I was on there, like, exploding, talking inside fucking computers and shit. Like, I was speaking like a fucking computer on Twitter. Because my bird brain, right? The bird brain limbic system. So I was dumping everything there. That's where I started off. And then I arranged myself as Lord of Shadow Ember, or the loser. Because I'm fucking a phenomenal loser. I won the game, guys. You remember the game? The game is you don't speak about the game. Because if you speak about the game, then you lost the game. You don't think about the game. Because if you think about the game, that means you lost the game. I won the game. But I also lost. I'm the biggest loser around. I won the game. Everyone else is like, oh, I thought about the game. I lost the game. I'm like, oh, I won the game. And I'm the biggest loser. I draw the short lot. I have to come out here and tell you all about this stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, y'all have a good one. Mike,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you later, man.
Yeah, man.
And
Always, brother.
yeah,
Have a good one, gentlemen.
Garcia, Ilya Garcia, I Garcia 39. Make sure I see you follow me. I'll make sure to follow you back. I try to make sure I follow all the people that like catch me inside stuff like this. Like if you want to send me a message, if you go through my stuff, if you want to send me a message, talk about stuff, I do try. I'm very fucking busy. I literally am. Like he can attest of it. Like busy. But y'all have a good one.